is a live presentation of CBC Sports.
Shock in Victoria this morning as Team Canada lost its first game. Although pegged as the favorite this week, Randy Ferbey and Team Canada were stunned by Andy Capp of Germany in the opener, hammered by a score of 10-5 in 9 ends. Now in unfamiliar territory, Ferbey must regroup to regain momentum as day one winds down. Sean Becker is a long way from home this week. New Zealand may not be a curling world power, but Becker has stormed out of the gates with a big win against Sweden. Another win at Canada's expense will signal that the Kiwis could be a force to be reckoned with. Randy Ferbey won't want a repeat of this morning's loss, but Sean Becker could be a surprisingly strong foe. You're looking at Victoria's Inner Harbour, where it's a cool, cloudy Saturday night in the BC provincial capital. Just a few blocks away, the brand new Save On Foods Memorial Centre, the scene of the 2005 Men's Ford World Curling Championship. Tonight, Canada's Randy Ferbey goes against Sean Becker of New Zealand. Canada, a first game loser. Becker of New Zealand, a first game winner. Canada dropped a 10-5 decision to Andy Capp of Germany. Hi everybody, I'm Don Whitman, and the Randy Ferbey foursome was the first to admit that in their opening game today, they did not curl well. Scott Pfeiffer at second and David Nedouin, who throws skipstones, were having difficulties, more so than any other members of the team. The big shot, and perhaps the turning point of the game in the fourth end, in a 2-1 lead and looking at 3 Canadian stones around the button, Andy Capp drew to the button to pick up one, move into a 3-1 lead. After Canada had gone ahead 4-3, a big 4 proved to be the downfall of the Canadian team. And then on the 9th end, with this draw, it was all over. Up by 5, the Canadian team shook hands as Andy Capp scored an upset on the opening draw here at the 2005 Ford Worlds. Other games, the United States had to go to a last rock to get by Australia, 7-6. New Zealand beat Sweden 8-5, and Switzerland had its way with Denmark, winning by a score of 7-2. These are the other games tonight. Finland and Italy taste action for the first time. So do Norway and Scotland. Germany and Sweden, their second outing, and Andy Capp would like to get off to a 2-0 start after his victory today against Canada. And Joan, you talked to the Canadian team. They were very unhappy with the way they performed.
Well, you know this team is very intense. No complacency, despite all the success that they've had. They're unhappy with their level of play. The good news is the ice is very good. They are intense. They will come out and play better tonight. As you said, Don, Scott Pfeiffer, Dave Nedouin, 69% in that opening draw. You know that they'll get more focused, let go of those distractions, and get down to the business of curling.
Well, the New Zealand team has to be elated that they won, but perhaps a little concerned that they're going against Randy Ferbey after coming off a bit of a humiliation on home territory.
Well, certainly they're going to be concerned about Randy Ferbey's play, but that was going to be the case anyway, I think, for New Zealand. Sean Becker and his team had a huge win in their first game. They're going to be much more relaxed than they may have been otherwise. Lauren DePape is not going to play this game. They're going to put their 5th player in at lead, but Sean Becker and his rink coming off a huge victory, I think have momentum on their side, and I anticipate them to play very, very well in this matchup tonight.
Well, 3 members of the New Zealand team are Canadian, born in Canada. Sean Becker is the only New Zealander, but he has traveled around the world honing his curling skills. Joan, is there a key matchup?
Well, you know, I hate to go after it all the time, but the second, Scott Pfeiffer was very un-Pfeiffer-like this afternoon. Did not play very well, was distracted with his equipment, but also didn't sweep very well either, made a lot of mistakes. Dan Mustapik is a very good player. He was a skip before. He played in Southern Ontario. He's won big cash bills before. This is the matchup we're watching today. I would expect obviously Scott Pfeiffer to play better than what he has. And if he has, that's a great matchup with Dan to see what's left for the back end later on in the game.
Draw 2 at the 2005 Ford Worlds. Randy Ferbey of Canada against Sean Becker of New Zealand. And surprisingly, it's Canada looking for its first win of this 2005 competition.
The Ford World Men's Curling Championships on CBC. Brought to you by Ford. Built for life in Canada. The Ford World Men's Curling Championships on CBC. Brought to you by Scott Paper Limited and its family of quality paper products. By Tim Hortons, roll up the rim to win. And by the original Strauss Heart Drops. Trust the tradition.
Well, you don't often hear the words Canada, New Zealand in curling as an important game for Canada, but that is certainly the case because Randy Ferbey does not want to start day 1 of the World Curling Competition 0-2. Warren Dobson, a native of Ranfurly, where the team is from, will replace Lauren DePape as lead to start the game. We understand that DePape may come back into the competition partway through the game, but it will be Warren Dobson starting things for Sean Becker's New Zealand team. Becker said he was not in awe of playing against Randy Ferbey. He was interviewed the other day. He said, I know he's a very good team, but we're playing Canada. I'm not at all awed by what he has done in the past. Randy Ferbey has awed a lot of people, though, with the record he has compiled, 6 Brier titles, appearing in the Brier final for each of the last 5 seasons, winning 4 of them.
These breaks seem to get longer and longer.
I know.
Each year.
They can be bad sometimes.
More and more ads, is it?
Sure. All right. No one's telling you not to. Thanks, Scott. No problem.
And again, Canada starts the game without the hammer. They did not have the hammer to start this morning against Germany, and they gave up a deuce on the first end, and the Germans maintained control until Canada got a pair in the 6th end for a 4-3 lead that quickly evaporated the very next end when Germany scored 4.
Come on, Marty.
I'm going to try not to kill myself too much.
What's up?
I said I'm going to try not to kill myself sweeping too much.
Yeah, that's fine.
Night. Hey, Derek Nance.
Yeah, throw 90.
Hey, 95.
90. I think so.
How's the weight?
Yeah, moves it.
Just T-line.
We saw this strategy earlier today used by Germany, so I think maybe New Zealand was watching that
Shot,
game,
Dobby.
saw that it worked.
Throw
Drawing
one.
open.
Same weight.
And Randy Ferbey is ignoring the stone that was put in the rings.
Oh,
And that's a strategy we've become familiar with.
At least the same.
I got a little more.
To goal zone, the area right in front of the rings, right directly in front of the 4-foot. Keep those rocks tight to the house and be able to promote them or come around them later on in the end.
Maybe she just went right in, eh?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, I know. I was thinking, well, why don't we just go right in?
I don't know. We always do.
I don't know why. Well,
These
do
are pretty
something.
easy to double peel, so.
Tell me I'm wrong for once in my life.
Yeah, good luck with that. At least they haven't lost their sense of humor. We did see this afternoon's game. Randy Ferbey is a very intense player.
Little bit tight for
Does
line.
not like
Yeah, for
losing,
line.
does not like playing
Yeah, for line.
poorly.
tight guard.
And he gets a little
Oh,
tough to be
damn.
around. And I think he's just joking around with his teammates a little bit to say, you know,
Get a good
let's,
angle.
let's get
Get a
things
guard now.
going here
Yep,
tonight.
yep.
And loosen up a little bit and make some shots.
Right over. Right over.
This is an important
Right over, guys.
championship for New Zealand. They need to finish ahead of one of either the United States, Denmark, or Finland to grab a berth in the 2006 Olympics. And Sean Becker and his teammates got off to a great start today with their win over Sweden, a team that was considered to be a definite medal contender here.
All there. Clean.
After all, they defeated the defending champion Paya Lindholm to qualify for the World Championships.
Whoa. Coming down. It's getting better. Still there. Actually, line's pretty good. Still all there.
Now, Joan, you had an opportunity to talk with Scott Pfeiffer. He was really having problems with his gripper during the game against Germany.
Yes, I spoke with Dan Hollowaychuk about what was going on with his equipment, and the type of shoe that he uses for gripper has discs, and the discs are velcroed to the bottom of the shoe. Well, the actual velcro that's attached to the bottom of the shoe came off, and so nothing was able to stick that gripper to the bottom of the shoe. So he asked Dan to glue it quickly during the game, and Dan scrambled and got him a different shoe to play with. It was the wrong size, and then Dan was trying to glue it, and the glue wouldn't set, and they had all sorts of problems switching shoes back and forth. And Scott was having trouble enough as it was in that game to top it all off with some problem with his equipment.
Dan Mustapik, a native of Port Arthur, coming down on top of the Canadian stone, pushing it back in the 8-foot. His shooter lies shot. Mike, you've played against Mustapik before.
Several times, and said Dan's a nice curler, and said he won a few cash bills in Southern Ontario area. So he knows the game very well, which is a big advantage to this New Zealand team. He's probably the best strategist on the team, and although he is playing second.
Well, he skipped the New Zealand team at the World Championship in 2001.
Whoa!
Scott Pfeiffer takes out the New Zealand stone. Canada lies too.
Same shot, Dan.
Same weight?
Just a little more weight.
Okay.
Like we did the finish on the draws is all.
It's about the same weight then.
It's the same as that sheet.
Even if you sat there, it wouldn't be bad.
Is that on the tee line or what? Yeah, that's on the tee, isn't it?
Just come to it.
I was just listening into the conversation between Pfeiffer or Netowin and Ferbey, and we talked about earlier today about this team is very familiar with these rocks. These are the MCA rocks that are used in the Briar, and how aggressive these rocks are. That means they curl a ton. But here so far in this arena setting, these are a little straighter than what they're used to, and I'm seeing that with Pfeiffer stones especially. He's used to being able to tip the rock out a little wider than the broom, and the big finish comes at the end. That's just not happening so far, and he's getting tricked by how straight the ice is, especially with that back line to hack weight.
Take it back, Sean. Go. As far as go.
Mustapik taps the Canadian stone to the back of the 12.
Quite a bit more ice on that shot too, I think, eh?
Here more weight.
Again, we point out, you hear a number of the players coughing, and you will during the course of this game. And I think much of that is due to the dust that still remains in the air here inside the Save On Foods Memorial Center. Construction completed, well, not completed, but the building was made ready for this curling competition just 5 days ago. So from the construction that was taking place right up until the last moment, there is a fair bit of dust in the air.
Watch that back. Sure.
Players were saying that during the course of the game, they would be using lozenges and drinking a lot of water, because they were having problems in practice yesterday sweeping stones.
Just back house, hands.
Back house. Yep, I'll throw 90. Danny, what do you think Chris would do?
What would Chris do? Throw 90.
Okay.
Hans Frauenlob, a native of Barrie, Ontario. He moved to New Zealand in 1996.
Three.
Clean. Back.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa. What's up, Sean? Through the house.
Backboard.
Through.
Whoa,
Through the house.
whoa. Stay with it.
Your side, Dobby. Your side, Dobby.
Okay.
1999, 0-9, 2-7 in 2001 when Dan Mustapik was skipping the team, and 3-6 last year. They lost to Mark Dacey by a score of 8-3 in Gavle, Sweden.
Yep. Bumper down.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Lots of weight.
Whoa.
Clean. Yep.
Whoa. Yep.
Ferbey would
Whoa,
love to
whoa,
get an
whoa.
inside
Whoa,
roll
wait.
off this takeout of the New Zealand stone. Gets a bit of a roll. Canada lies too.
Right there. Scott,
Is it? Just kill the two front reds.
Hey,
Kill the two front reds.
come around.
Nice shot. I kind of like ripping the two front reds.
Go here.
It's a great shot if you make it.
Great shot if you make it. Looking at 3, boys.
All right.
Some early pressure here on New Zealand.
last one,
Canada
round 70?
has the rocks in
63,
great
63, yeah.
position, forcing New Zealand out to this other side of the ice to throw the draw. They have backing. It'd be great if they could stay top 4 foot, get a piece tucked behind the guard
line,
on this
guys,
side
tight
of the
line.
ice.
Take. Whoa, whoa.
Room now.
Room.
Room.
Stay with it.
Room.
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 Stay with it.
Frown lob from the intern side.
Right back, I think. Right back.
Great looking shot.
Excellent shot as he
Okay.
comes down on top of the Canadian stone. Actually, it came a little too deep.
Did, but it certainly takes away those other two
They
Canadian
just talked a
counters.
bit more. I didn't know if there was room or what was happening.
I did. I said room.
Oh, I couldn't hear anything.
Shot. I thought about running that guard back into those ones, but
Well, that's what I was looking at. As I was trying to ask you for, actually.
can't hear from down there.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Hey, Dave. Ready to it?
Doesn't have to be.
You know,
He's
while there are
held back
weeks
So
that
we
the
need two
Canadian
for white,
team
we're
will
good?
play almost 14 or 15 games,
Is that the ice?
that's almost a season for the New Zealand team.
Well, unless they make the effort to travel to Canada and to play in some bonspiels, they just don't get the game.
8, 9,
7,
8,
9.
9.
Room.
Lots of weight.
Room.
It's coming down.
No, all there.
We're by.
for line, just
We're
for
by.
line.
Whoa, we're by. Easy.
Oh.
Right to it. Let's go to it.
This needs to finish a little.
Nadewin comes down on top of the New Zealand stone to lie shot.
It was going to curl.
Come on, not for a while.
Almost lost its turn for a bit, too.
Yeah.
Thanks. Didn't look like it was going to curl.
No, the last 4 feet it went pretty good. Well, it was back. You know, they're 8, 9. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to curl.
I thought it was gonna go by.
3, I'd say.
3. Okay. Yeah, 90 hands was back tee cold, wasn't he?
Sean Becker was telling me that he's the 5th generation in his family to play this sport in New Zealand.
Steven.
Where?
His
T.
great-grandfather
Clean.
introduced the
T.
game.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Becker
Clean.
in 95 and 96
Clean.
Just a
spent
little
a
bump
fair
on.
bit
No
of
bump,
time
no
in
bump.
Canada.
Whoa.
Just do it. Yep.
This looks good.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa!
Right down on top of the Canadian stone.
Good shot. Shot.
No.
Because what I was going to say is you can't even talk to. Why don't we try and bump that in?
Well, then you can draw 2 for this.
Shot, Sean.
Something to
Not
get
if
2
you
though,
show it
really,
from
isn't
this
it?
side,
Might
no.
have to be that.
No. Yes, he can. Absolutely.
Because
he
we're
can.
touching the weight.
Well, he just moves it an inch.
Yeah, I guess.
Right here, even if it's short.
Yeah.
Dave Nedwin going to be forced to concede one here.
What would Chris do? Well, Chris, I think, might throw that shot, too.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad thing. There's no where they talked just briefly for a minute about bumping
to
this
it or
stone
we
in,
shot?
but
No.
certainly this is the safer shot.
The only way we get shot is playing an out-turn bump, but
So 2 or just short?
yeah, it can be short.
And this is the smart call that if they throw
That's
a
about a
guard
9
here
there, right?
or come
Yeah,
right
8,
into
9.
the top 8 foot, there will be no chance for New Zealand to get more than 1 point. So don't take chances early in this game and let them take their 1 point, get the hammer back in the second half.
6. Yep.
Line's good.
7. We're to it.
Whoa.
Small tap. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Don't want to roll off this.
Whoa,
May
whoa,
leave
whoa,
a
whoa,
draw.
Yep, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're to it. We're to it.
As long as you can't get score off it. Good throw, dude.
Yes, sir.
Guys. There's no way that we can kill
You
that
can't,
one.
you can't hit it with the weight. That's
Our
all.
back one's going nowhere.
I don't think we can.
Go, Clay.
Cold draw across
We can't
the face.
screw anything up.
What's that?
We say we can't screw anything up.
That's
even
what
if
I
you
mean.
Try to draw the lid again.
Exactly, try the
It might
draw.
come off it.
Yeah. Play it tight. And if we get the guard, it's fine.
The way it curls in here, I think, it may be possible
I think we can get inside that if we get
Yeah,
tight to
that's
the
what I'm
thing.
thinking too.
to just
Let's
come
go.
across the top with draw weight
Just
and
back
have your
button.
shooter just roll into the top of the button. Very, very difficult. You have to just
Same weight
paper
I
the
just
guard
threw,
and hope
really.
the rock
Yeah,
finishes
right.
hard, but it
Yeah.
will finish hard.
It's just like a cold draw,
it's floating down
really,
that
to
track
the
a bit,
tee
isn't it?
line here.
Slight.
Coming very, very close to the top guard.
In his first World Championship appearance in 1999 in St. John, New Brunswick, Sean Becker won the Colin
Where?
Campbell
Tee.
Memorial Award,
No.
combining playing
Nothing yet
ability
needed, actually.
with sportsmanship.
No, it's too
No,
wide,
no
guys.
line.
Going down.
No line.
But
No
we
line.
needs it now,
No
Hans.
Oh,
line. We
oh,
gotta
oh,
save that
oh, oh.
guard, man. Okay, now. Yep. Yep. Right back. Right back. Hard! Right
Can
back.
they get it past the red stone?
Nice try, Sean.
They just bump it a
Okay,
little.
yellow.
So it's a score of 1. Canada quite willing to concede a single point on this opening end to New Zealand. And they get their point first on the board against Canada. On the opening draw, Canada without last rock gave up 2 to Germany. Here against New Zealand without last rock, it's a single point for the Kiwis. Canada against Germany had the lead just once, and that was only for one end, leading 4-3 after 6 when Germany scored 4 on the 7th to take control and pretty much
All right,
put
thank
the
you.
game away.
Say 3, Dobby, to the T. Yeah.
3.
Well, as you said, Don, New Zealand is definitely the underdog in this game, but sometimes that just relaxes a team. They have nothing to lose here. They know that Canada's expected to win.
Good.
They can just
Over.
relax.
Yeah, it's tight.
Play
too.
the
It's gonna be
game
a
that
corner
they're-
guard.
Short.
Hog it.
Oh,
And this is a nowhere close on this guard.
That's a beer. That's a beer for Dobby.
okay.
All right.
And that's, referring to club curling, and when somebody hogs a rock, they're supposed to buy a round after the game.
No.
And that's what they said that Warren's going to have to do for them.
Good thing it's international. It's a good, it's good to know.
But talking with Sean Becker, he said it was only about 10 years ago that they learned how to slide when delivering a curling stone in New Zealand. They used to just stand in the hack and throw the rocks.
Well, you talked about them going to St. John a few years ago, and I curled against Sean
he's
Becker and
starting
his
that.
team about a week before they went, and they
he's
were
starting that.
pitiful. I don't want to say, and I say that in the best sense that they've improved so much since then. But
Tight
Sean
spot.
Becker had literally never been in an arena or curling rink before. They decided to try to qualify for the Worlds, and Dan Muspick at that time was not in New Zealand.
Better, Dobby.
Hans Frauenlob was on the team as well as Lauren DePape, but Sean was just kind of thrown to the wolves in St. John and really was out of his element. And I think every time they come back to a World Championship, they take home
Going
a lot
tighter,
of good, positive experiences, and they're learning a lot about the game every time they come to one of these events.
Gotta leave it short or put it in?
Just short's not bad.
Easy. Well, you're gonna leave it short. It's either gonna be fully in or. Okay.
Oh well. We can hit anyway. Oh, we can hit now anyway.
So now with that stone sliding into the rings, Marcel Rock has an opportunity to remove it.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Close. Yep. Hard. Hard. Oh, God. Okay.
Control.
Control.
The other nice thing for New Zealand is almost every game they do play are against very good teams. When they come to a World Championship, their learning curve is quite steep. They're picking up a lot of experience.
Dan Mustapik has lived for 7 years in New Zealand. He's in Dunedin, and he's with the health board there. He's the manager of the health board.
Clean.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh! Oh!
Stay close to it, Doug.
Roll.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Oh! Oh!
Shot, Dan.
Hit and roll to the edge of the 12.
Caught something.
Roll to a great spot. They're taking away that corner guard from
Shot,
Team
Dan.
Canada by
Bumper down.
walking off the path.
Bumper down.
Wasn't the called shot. They were looking for a nose hit.
Yep. Bumper up. Slow. Yep. Some moves here. Slow.
Well, Scott Pfeiffer just slid past the New Zealand stone on the edge of the 12.
Yeah. Over here somewhere.
That miss really wasn't Scott's fault. That was a sweeping call by Randy Ferbey to call the sweepers, and they swept that pretty hard the first third of the way down the ice.
T. 90.
97, I got.
97? Okay. Oh.
Eight.
Back 4.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't want it back. We want it high.
In other games, Marco Usapapalniemi of Finland
Sit
leading
down.
Stefano Ferranato of Italy 1-0. No score Norway and Scotland. Paul Trulson and David Murdoch and Andy Kapp ahead of Eric Carlson of Sweden by a score of 1-0.
Quick.
What's he saying? Did you get Hans 9? Yep.
And Canada doesn't have to go after this rock again.
Real hard. Hard.
Dan Mustapik's
Wow.
rock
Are they on the
slipping
guard?
behind
It
the
looks
T-line.
as though they're all over the guard.
Come on. Okay. Here?
Yeah.
Well,
Here come
Scott
the in-turn,
Pfeiffer
the
is
out-turn.
really upset with the way he is continuing to
Right on
the
perform
out-turn.
after only shooting 69% in his first game against Germany.
Come
Well,
this
and
way.
as I
I
said,
wonder if we
the
go
first
out-turn, 'cause he's
miss
gonna
this
come
end
out-turn if we
really
go
wasn't
in-turn
his
anyway,
fault.
isn't it?
That was
I
a
like the
sweeping
out-turn.
call. Given the same call
If you leave him the
shot
pace, he's
again, he
got the
tried to
roll
make
over
it
there,
better,
so-
and I think he threw less weight and a little tight on the broom, trying to make that shot himself, and that just doesn't work.
And here's a bit of a trivia question for our viewers. This
Hey, hey.
gentleman, Hans
Back
Frauenlob,
four,
has 2
Lot
World
of room.
Championship rings in another
That's
sport.
lots, heaps.
Whoa, whoa, Back
whoa.
eight.
92-93 in Toronto.
Wide open's not
He
terrible.
worked with the Toronto Blue Jays when they won the
T-line's
World
not
Series
terrible.
those 2 years.
Yeah, it's not. T, back 4.
He ran the
Okay.
computer program for the
Okay.
Blue Jays, and as a member of the organization
Sorry,
received
guys.
a World Championship ring.
Don, it was just that we were thinking for sure if we go out in turn, he comes out turn the corner and freezes down the middle. Right,
Yeah.
so we might as well play that turn ourselves.
And that's a mistake
just
by
thinking if
Hans by slipping that far back in the rings. They had a great chance to put some big pressure on Canada.
come around, or we
Those
going to the
rocks
back?
behind the T-line
No,
are
no,
not
no.
helping New Zealand whatsoever.
Straight come around. Is that enough ice? A bit close. Smidge more. Yeah. You can go by on the wide side.
Yeah, you can go by
back.
foot.
Whoa, whoa. Little less. Not wide.
Line's
Split.
good.
Go.
6. Line's good.
Line's good.
6. Okay, room. Little room.
Go.
Room. Yep, go now. Go now. All the way, all the way. Go on, go on. Okay, good.
It's nice weight, but there was quite a bit of room by the guard. Still very, very usable rock by Canada.
All right. Back weight.
Slim good,
75.
These are the kinds of shots that I think really separate the experienced teams from the inexperienced, and that is whenever you have to throw the different weights. Not a straight takeout, not a straight draw, but some sort of back line to hack weight, throwing that accurately.
Real hard! Come on, guys!
Will this guard out front come into play? Are they going to get by?
Okay.
Too tight, and with a rub off the guard, advantage now belongs to Canada.
Hands.
Frauenlob in his first World Championship appearance threw third stones, then in 2001 he switched to second.
Longer than it did.
All right.
Moved back to third a year ago.
So Randy Ferbey has a great chance to get another rock in there in front of the tee line and partly buried behind the guard.
6. Room. Room. Just for light. Clean. Gotta go. Yeah, go now. Go hard. Are you gonna separate them? No, we're not there. You're not here? Well then, let it curl. Whoa. Well, yeah, get shot though. Get shot. Get shot. Yep.
Well done. It's good judging, good communication. Take a look at all the options that they had available to them.
I think so.
Yeah.
Straight back, or we're
Hey guys.
just across the face?
I think across the face of it, yeah.
Across the face of the 6, yeah.
Play the intern down, I mean, the
guys.
center line down there.
Either run it or just pick the back one.
Hey?
What would happen if we just picked the back one out?
Hey, just give him another draw, I suppose.
Well, it's a tougher one. The second one, you got to come to here, isn't it? What would
Oh,
happen?
yeah.
I'm just suggesting you pick that out. Hey?
Yeah.
Bad shot.
Then if he comes deep on the intern, we've got something to freeze to.
Tough shot. Okay. Play what you want. I'm just
get
offering you a
second shot if we-
suggestion.
Comes here, he'd be second shot.
Yeah.
So cool. What do you think?
Well, you could just
Okay.
pick the back one out.
Normal?
All right, what kind of weight you gonna throw?
Normal? I think so. Do you want to try and stick around?
Oh, I
gotta come to the back.
think it's a very difficult shot to try to stick around on. You can get rid of this shot, Stone,
I think it's a pretty safe call, isn't it? Give it
Yeah.
a tougher shot on the second one.
but it is difficult to stick around with your
You did
shooter.
right. Makes it tougher. Yeah.
Hey, when we catch a piece, just call us on, eh? Right?
Well, you can probably get on it.
Yeah, just call it. Okay.
Trying to figure out how to give up only 2 here. They're in trouble for almost 3 if
Clean. Yep.
they miss the run back.
Oh!
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, off! Whoa, off! Whoa, off!
Is he going to get any of it? He does. Catches a corner
That's right.
to chip it out and
Hey,
roll his
second
shooter
in.
out of play.
Good shot.
Still into it for 3 here if a good come round is
And he
made.
has a hard time without
Yeah.
the cam.
Good shot.
That's okay. Shame we got those 2 at the back now because he can use them pretty well.
As long as it comes past that one.
Yeah.
They'd
then
love
he
to
just
keep this
freezes
rock
down
in
and-
front of the tee line. Try to come into here. If they slip behind the tee line, then New Zealand will have a chance to save the end and freeze down to the Canadian rock.
David Netterwin, the only member of this Canadian team who is still wearing his Canadian team jacket.
Five. Gotta be a 6. Pass the top one. Line's good. Room.
Take a look if you can.
Get ready. Vary a bit if you can.
Pass it. It's past it.
Cross the center line.
Let it curl.
Just
Let it
so
curl.
no
Let it
inside
curl.
roll. No roll inside. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This way.
Sorry, Dave. Good shot, Dave.
That's deep.
That slid pretty good, eh? That did.
Remember, they called out a 5 off
You jumped that one a little bit too much.
the
Just
release.
adjust.
Yeah.
I wish it was shorter. I wish it was a foot shorter.
It's a very difficult draw because if they didn't bury a piece of it, New Zealand would have a little hit and roll off of it as well. And that just came deep, and now New Zealand has a chance to freeze to
That's all right. This is
tap
better-
even for a
gives
shot
them
Stone.
Still better shot this way.
Just very uncharacteristic misses
at
we're
least
seeing
3.
from Canada,
At least
both
3.
this game and,
Oh, 3-2
and
today.
this morning's game. Just
How about what you threw that time
slight
before
mistakes,
on
but
the outside?
as we've seen, when the opportunity is given to your opponents, usually they're stepping through and making the big shot. And Sean Becker and his team very relaxed here.
I think you got to go.
16.
He said immediately upon
Oh, yeah,
release
it's
that they've
down,
got to
man.
go. And it doesn't appear as though he has nearly enough weight to get even to the hog line.
That's surprising. He threw 2 draws in the first end.
All right. Okay, Sean.
2 very good draws.
Right.
That's one of those ones you look behind you and
Oh, is
pretend
it?
that it picked.
Okay.
That was nowhere
enough.
close.
All right.
Nowhere close.
No, you rolled it. And
Well,
No, I
New
knew he
Zealand's
was tight,
outstanding
but I had a hard time
rugby
believing
team
he did.
Guys.
is referred to as the All Blacks. Someone said the curling team should be called the All Hacks.
Oh.
Sorry, Hank.
Same stuff.
Well, they weren't this morning in their first
No.
game. They played great.
Wonderful chance here for Canada.
David Nedwin with the final stone of the second end, an opportunity to draw for 3.
It's there. It's there. It's there.
line.
Just clean it.
Well, there's lots here. Did you see that?
This looks great.
I heard it.
Right down on top of the stone that was sitting at the button, and it's a score of 3 for Team Canada and a 2-point advantage through 2 ends of play. Well, the New Zealand team obviously has some support here in the Save-On Foods Memorial Center. Sean Becker trailing by 2 points after coming up light with a freeze attempt with his final stone, enabling Canada to draw for 3. They don't have a lot of curling ice in New Zealand, but things are going to change. As a matter of fact, in Ranfurly, where this team is from,
It's hard for
at
us
least
to
where
watch, but
Becker
they
is
could be
from,
from us too, you
they
know.
are building
Usually you can feel it.
a couple of new rinks, both 4 sheet affairs, and they hope to have them ready, as he said, sometime in May.
Where am I going?
Fingers crossed. The building is built for our first official curling rink, and hopefully the plant will be in by the end of April. Early May, we'll have ice in New Zealand for our winter. So I'm really looking forward to actually being able to throw on curling ice in New Zealand.
While we are going into summer in New Zealand, they are going into their winter season. And as he said, for the curlers in New Zealand, this will be a change, being able to play on arena ice or on curling club ice and under conditions that are familiar to Canadian curlers.
It'll be nice not to have to fight the elements, that's for sure, for this team from New Zealand.
Well, through 2 ends of play, Canada at 81%, New Zealand at 52%.
It's pretty good. Shot, Warren. Throw, Warren.
Is that a Warren or a Lauren?
Warren.
Warren Dobson, the 5th player, replacing Lauren DePape at lead. Dobson is also from Ranfurly, the same
That's 3.
place that Sean Becker, the skip, hails from.
Get ready. Yep. 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 Just clean. Just clean. Just clean. Whoa, clean. Whoa.
Trying to keep this in the free guard zone. Good job.
Well, there are only about 600 curlers
that's
in
not bad.
New
Yeah.
Zealand, and they've been up to now curling outdoors.
Yeah, 3
Their
draw.
all-time record at the World Championships, 5-22. They have to finish ahead of the United States, Denmark, or Finland to qualify for the 2006 Olympics. Back in 2001, the Kiwis found themselves in a somewhat similar situation and made the mistake perhaps of focusing too much
Back ring, Sean,
on an
back
attempt to get to the Olympic Games.
Back ring by itself.
Concerned about the race for points.
It's going to bump it out the other side, so it's pretty good.
All right, Dob, that'll do. Hey, Dob. Hey, Dob. Go ahead, Dobby.
Bumper down. Yeah. Randy, get the roll. Or no.
Scott Pfeiffer threw 2 ends, only 56%. 2 misses on the previous hand.
Nice one to tap it back, don't it?
Play control,
Well,
Dan.
that was a good shot in this end.
Either way, Spawn.
Yeah, we can probably get inside it with
Control.
what kind of weight? Sean,
Control.
kind of weight. Control.
Just control.
Control. Kind of runs on these lines here a bit, eh, guys?
Okay, I'll stay close to it.
This New Zealand team came over to Canada on the 18th of March. They went to Calgary,
Normal.
and they were able to compete at the Calgary Winter Club.
Normal. Easy.
Normal down.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
Hold up. Good in.
Must pick with the takeout, and he rolls to the far side, but it is open.
Stop a bit.
Pretty good try there by Dan. Nice thing for New Zealand. They'll take play away from that forfeit area, and they'll be able to
Bumper up. Clean.
make a move around one of these corner guards.
Hard. 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 Hard.
Just want to play this?
Wow.
Just back here.
Okay. So just through the house or what? Yeah, just through the house. 85. 80.
Line is everything on this shot. It's not important to remove this rock completely out of the house as much as it is to get around to the face and try to get a corner
Long way to go.
behind the guard.
Oh. Nothing. Pumping.
Oh, wow.
Coming down now, back 4.
Oh, no. No, it's outside.
Lots of
guys.
room by the guard.
All right, Danny. Yeah, one tracks a bit, eh?
Canada still lies 2.
Get
So
in.
it tracked a
Just
bit
tracks,
there.
eh? Yeah. Perfectly straight. That's that spot I told you about in practice. Just perfectly straight. Finished at the end. I thought I was going right by. Really?
I'd throw bumper down.
Great transfer, Randy Ferbey, just to play that soft weight hit and roll in behind the guard and be in front of the tee line.
Similar comments from New Zealand that we heard from Dave Nedowin in the first end. The rock just runs, and then just finishes hard just at the very end.
Bumper up. Yep. Go. Bumper up. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Real hard. 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 Hard.
Trying to remove the New
Whoa,
Zealand
whoa,
stone
whoa.
to lie 3.
Stop. Go out on the roll.
Trying to get a bit of an inside roll, and Randy Ferbey does behind cover.
It's a wonderful shot. Great control, bumper weight, get the nice little roll.
Nice throw. That's a good sweep. Sweep and held it. Oh, yeah.
And it was a good
All
job
right,
of
normal
sweeping
on
by
that, guys.
Marcel Rock and Scott Pfeiffer to hold the stone. Frauen lob with a run back attempt.
Oh,
Normal. Wow.
clean.
Close. Wow.
Whoa, whoa,
Wow.
whoa. Whoa,
Wow. Back 1, Sean. Back 1 on the 4-foot.
Yep. Whoa.
Watch back 1. Okay.
Okay.
Frauen drives the guard harmlessly by the stones in the rings. Let's update Germany and Sweden. And with his final stone, Erik Karlsson of Sweden is able to draw 4-2. Germany first on the board, a single point for Andy Capp on and 1. The Swedes blanked the second to retain last rock into 3, and they were rewarded as they get their deuce and a 2-1 lead through 3 ends of play.
Room. 3.
And
Room.
Stefano Fanato of Italy
Get
has
ready.
scored 2 to
3-4.
take a 2-1 lead over
Yep,
Marco
go.
Pavelnimi. And Paul
Right there.
Trulson, the
Whoa, whoa,
Olympic
whoa,
champion,
whoa.
leading David
Whoa.
Murdoch
Whoa.
of Scotland 1-0 in the third end.
All right.
Canada now lying 4 and the 2 stones on the edge of the 4-foot.
Because we could play
Guarded.
this, but
Not really. Okay.
Canada's really got New Zealand chasing here, throwing hits even though they have last rock and are down 2 points. New Zealand could take a chance here and try to freeze down to the rock and the back 4-foot.
no.
When Mustapik was skipping this team in 2001,
On the 4-foot.
Sean Becker was playing 3rd.
Watch. One.
Okay.
There's the jam at the back as they made contact with the top stone. Canada lying 3.
Well, I think we have to give him this out turn freeze for now.
Yeah,
And he makes
but why
him
do we
come
want to
down.
guard this even? We don't. Why don't we just put one right here?
He comes off of that. He comes to the back. When he moves it an inch, you can get it out, eh?
If what?
Well, because if we leave him this freeze and he moves this 6 inches,
Yeah.
you just have it back. We're lane 3.
What if he doesn't?
Here,
though?
here he does this, and we're not getting it out.
But that's okay. We'd be forcing him to 1.
Oh,
I'm just
well,
wondering
you know about
how,
this.
even if he say he makes that freeze, though, what do we do? Come down on top of it,
No,
I
no.
guess.
Well, so right about here, right to the edge of this.
Yeah, just so we can't get the inside on this.
Yeah.
Okay. So not
Same
much
as I had
different than
then?
you. You had edge of the 4.
We want a 3 here, eh?
Yeah. Just a 3, just guarding, just so he can't get the inside off the ones on the left.
What's he doing if you don't throw right now?
Oh, he's freezing.
He's freezing?
Yeah. So, I don't know, Randy said give him the freeze. If he moves ours at all, then we can get it out. And even if he makes it, now we can freeze around onto his.
So you don't want it in? Not in?
No.
Okay.
I mean, a 4 is okay, that's fine, yeah.
Okay. It's all line then.
Yeah.
And you heard the rationale. It's a very good conversation. They're looking at every option that they're leaving New Zealand, trying to take away the easiest one and forcing New Zealand to the most difficult one. If they put this guard just across the center line a little bit, they will force a more difficult freeze attempt for Sean Becker.
No, line's real good. Line's real good.
5.
Yep.
5.
Whoa. It's gonna
Just biting. Just biting 8.
Whoa.
And this is over curling. The freeze will now still be available for New Zealand.
They were always going to have something, though, and the question is how do they try to
I'm not sure.
steal
Well,
points
I
here?
don't know what I'm not sure about. I'm just not sure about.
If it was just this way, 3 inches.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the fact I'm not sure.
Not sure,
Okay.
but I don't feel good about that shot.
Yeah,
is
if I
what he's
slip a
saying.
wee bit too far, I'm in there.
It's
anyway.
like the polls, you know. Phone if you're in favor, phone if you're against. But there's always 18% who phone and say, I don't have an opinion.
Another opportunity for
yeah,
the
we can
freeze.
sit full 4 though. Top 4 would be good.
Yeah.
But if it slides a wee bit, we can come to the back one. So. See what happens.
Same. 3.
3.
3.
Yep.
Becker with his first
room,
stone of
guys.
this third end, trailing by 2, attempting to freeze to the
Hey.
Canadian stone at the back of the
Hey.
4.
Stay
Team
close
by
to
itself.
it. Top 4, guys.
Go hard.
Yep, go. Come on. Hard.
Hard for line.
Hard for line, guys.
Hard for line,
Hard for
guys.
line.
Real hard for line.
Real hard.
Are they going to get it there?
Well, that was misjudged by the sweepers.
For that. Sorry about that.
Now Canada can make access to that 4-foot ring very, very difficult.
Nah, it's my fault.
What right here. Biting the
My
center line.
fault.
Yeah.
I could have had him. I mean, I was never worried about the line. I just missed it.
Weight was great.
Yeah, weight was all right.
To get across center.
Big trouble.
Because even if we rub off that yellow hair and this way, it's kind of hard. Like we're almost going to overcurl for sure and give him this draw.
I'd almost give him that draw the way it goes there.
Yeah, but
not throwing a draw. He's throwing an 11 or something.
you want to just play the intern at it and just play it on center
He's
line.
not throwing a draw.
No, he's saying he's throwing a draw, a heavy draw.
Yeah.
If we left it open a hair.
So it'll curl less.
So what are you saying?
I'll just throw the intern on the center then. Yeah. Just a 3, right?
Split in center.
Well, you know what? If you got a 4, it's not
not the
bad.
worst.
No, okay.
Just bite the center line.
Yeah.
I don't know what the discussion is. Let's just split the center line and
3,
guard
4. 4 is good.
guard the draw into the forefoot to save the end.
Touch center line. Yeah. Which way are we going?
In.
Oh, I didn't clean that.
Yeah, you're cleaning it right now.
Well, I went up there though.
Team Canada makes this guard. It's going to be very, very difficult for New Zealand to score and prevent a steal of 3.
4-5. Clean it. 4. Clean it. 5. Well then. Clean it. Just for line. Gotta move. Gotta move. Just pass the yellow. Gotta move to this side of the center line. No, line's good. Clean, 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 clean. Whoa, it's good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Clean stop. Clean to stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Canada now lies 5.
Well done.
That is a perfect spot.
That's not bad.
I don't know how New Zealand scores here.
That's good. He's got nothing.
I haven't got much else.
He may have a wide
So
out
either run
turn
that back and kill a couple
draw.
and sit there.
to give up only 1.
I don't like our other options. I think it's our only shot, isn't it? You might even get one out of
See
it.
that guard on the
Well,
right-hand side. Try to come close to it and come around it to try to get full forefoot and take away
He's going to do anything.
a
This
couple
is just going to
points.
stay there anyway, isn't it? I think so.
Unless you get it really thin.
Really thin with the heat.
We haven't
I
got
think
much
at
at all,
least if
really,
you
have we?
play that, you got a chance to stick maybe second shot. Hey? Well, what if we just try and come right around and just draw to the red and give him 1?
That's what I was just talking
Might get
about.
a piece,
get
piece of
there.
the button. Well,
No, you can't
can't get to the button, but we might get
That's
to the red.
as far as you get.
I think it's damage control this by now.
Tough shot either way, isn't it?
Well, or you can come the intern and try the same thing, but you're curling away from the forefoot.
Yeah, that's all. We've got to try and come round onto here. That's all we got, really, isn't it?
I don't see much else, Danny.
Don't see much
I'll
else.
see
I'm
that or
afraid.
that.
Hey? You want to play that?
And I think if you make that, it's not bad. Well, if you make that,
Right?
you're a hero. What's that? If you make that, you're a hero. Well, we might be able to carry it over.
There?
All right, mate. You want to give it a go?
Yeah, we're sort of screwed either way. It runs pretty straight there. Tough shot either way. I mean, that curls up a fraction more. You've got the bing bing, but it didn't curl at all, so.
Well, you're going to throw, what kind of weight you going to throw?
Oh, you got to throw normal, don't you? You reckon?
You want to give it a go?
Yeah, well.
I don't even know if this shot is there.
Out turn draw hasn't been going very well, has it?
Well, I
this.
don't know. They're thinking if we
There.
come way around, we
There.
might catch a piece
Right
of
onto the
fork.
nose.
All the way around.
Might kill 2 stones
Yep.
and only give up 1.
Yeah.
And like Han said, he'd be a hero if he made it.
Well, there aren't many good
Like this
options
shot?
here.
Hey?
You like this shot?
Hey?
You like that shot?
Yeah.
Way throwing. It's either that or try the, like say, long way around, but
Geez, that doesn't curl that much, Dan.
no, it'd have to go
taking the side
sideways on
bets
the
on
end,
this
wouldn't
one?
it?
Yeah.
What weight you throwing?
Normal.
Well, the possibility of Canada could steal big here on the third end.
Oh, Jesus.
And Becker came out of the hack very wobbly.
Oh.
He was off
Oh,
balance coming out.
Oh,
What will the end result be as he's
Close.
attempting to angle raise this stone?
Okay.
Well, it's a good shot.
It's a
He was
great
looking at
Hey,
5,
a little harder, we had 1.
and they're absolutely right. Just a little harder, and he scores 1. He made the
Couldn't
angle
leave you with
raise
much else.
double,
Tell you, hey, we hit
and
it a bit
giving
harder,
up
we had 1. You
1
didn't throw it hard enough. Otherwise
is a
we had 1.
bonus
Gotta
for
leave
New
it harder,
Zealand.
we get 1.
Watch this wobbly delivery.
You didn't throw it hard enough, though. We had 1 otherwise.
Well, he almost
Oh.
fell, I think. Why he didn't throw it hard enough.
Better
You
all I had.
can't be upset about this result. This is a great result. Getting rid of 2 of the Canadian rocks to only give up a steal.
So Canada through 3 leads by 3. Well, the third end could have been disastrous for New Zealand. Quite happy to give up just a steal of 1 with his final stone. Sean Becker was looking at 5 Canadian rocks. 4-1, Canada leads through 3 ends of play. Sean Becker taking a glance over at some of the other sheets. Marco Uusipaavalniemi of Finland with 3 in the third end to move ahead of Italy by a score of 4-2.
he just flying out and coming and pulling back a little bit?
No, he didn't pull back. He just threw a light.
Oh, it just looks like he's flying out of the hack. But, okay.
Well, with the stone delivered by Marcel Rock coming to the top of the 12, that can now be removed.
We could hit it if you want.
That's the no-no spot when you're sweeping the leads rocks in the free guard zone. You cannot leave them half and half in the rings. It'll allow the opposition to hit it and just stay inches outside of the rings. And that's the ideal spot. The tight guard is what those leads are looking for in the majority of the ends in the free guard zone.
In case you've just joined us, Warren Dobson did not play the first game against Sweden. A victory by a score of 8-5 for New Zealand.
Tight guard.
Lorne de Pape,
We freeze to
a
it.
native of St. Boniface, Manitoba.
Yep. Hard.
Played lead for the first game, but has been replaced by Warren Dobson in this one.
Hard blind. Hard blind.
Okay. Shot up. Right.
Shot, Warren.
And I think the call on that was for a freeze on that guard. I just don't know what that gets you by freezing on the rock in front of the rings.
A very strange call.
8. Room. Clean. Yep. Line only.
We're by.
6.
We're
Room.
by.
Room. 6.
Actually, line's pretty good.
Room. Good shot, Marty.
And Marcel Rock draws behind the two stones. Checking in on Finland and Italy. Italy first on the board, Marco Uusipaavalniemi with the final stone of end number 3. And the Big Finn, as he is often referred to, draws on top of his own to score 3.
Okay, up.
Drop.
Warren Dobson attempting to get rid of the two stones out front, removes 1.
All right.
I just think this strategy is very odd. New Zealand's down 3 points and they're hitting rocks out front. It makes no sense to me.
Clean. Whoa. Clean. What?
And Scott Pfeiffer removes the New Zealand stone sitting out front.
So now an opportunity for Canada to have another comfortable end. There won't be very many rocks in play. They will continue to remove the guards put in to play by New Zealand.
Tight guard.
Line's good. Where?
Tight guard. Right in the end. All right, 12 foot.
Still tight or just
It's tight to it. It's in the rings.
to it?
12. Right.
Okay, Danny.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Let's check in on Norway, Scotland. Paul
that's gotta be
Trulson
forcing
first
the
on
one.
the board. After blanking the
We want a
first, he
3 here,
scored
eh?
1 in the second,
Yeah.
but on the third end, David Murdoch with a draw for 3, and it's 3-1. Scotland leading Norway.
Just so he can't get the inside.
3-2, Germany leading Sweden. Andy Capp, after relinquishing 2 on the third, coming back with a pair on the fourth for the advantage there.
Hard. Hard.
Come on, get it out, get it out.
Go.
Boy, Scott.
Scott Pfeiffer continuing to struggle a little.
Control.
We're getting it? Ah, okay.
And you can see Marcel Rock trying to talk to Scott, because when you're struggling like this on the international stage with all the eyes watching, you are your worst critic. The demons he has to deal with are within himself, and the best thing that his team can do is to talk to him and try to help him through whatever it is that he's doing and fiddling around with, trying to make his shots.
Well, there's no doubt that Scott Pfeiffer is considered one of the best seconds in the game. And it has been un-Pfeiffer-like the way he has performed against Germany and in the early stages against New Zealand.
Bumper. Clean.
I have great confidence he's going to get back on track. And like I said, sometimes you're just trying so hard to make the shot right. When you've missed one or two, you hang on to the rock a little bit longer. You start upping your weight. When you normally throw it one speed for takeout, you'll throw it harder just because you want to hit and stick, and little things like that. And he can get through this by, especially a game played like this, wide open, just throw a number in a row and start feeling better about his routine, bread and butter kind of shots.
Clean.
It's clean. Yep. Clean. It's clean.
Frauenlob with the nose hit for New Zealand to lie 1.
And this kind
We're
of
rolling in, or what are we doing here?
This kind of strategy used by New Zealand is only making Canada happy. I don't see how they generate a couple of points
Right under the
by
normal.
continuing to hit
Watch
things
that back one.
in the rings.
Easy up. Yep. Right. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Good.
That's a great shot to be able to roll in and not jam that stone on the outside yellow one.
Well, Ferbey had said prior to throwing, he said just watch the back one. And he was making reference to the stone just sitting outside the rings over in the left-hand side of the picture.
Yep. Hard. Yep.
Well, at this stage of the end, New Zealand's going to be looking to
Right up
blank
hard,
this
guys.
end.
Hard, guys.
No real chance for 2.
Oh, guys, that's good. Good sweep, guys.
Chop.
It's still your house, or is, no, it's your house now.
I think I just
The only
take it to
time
the
it was
rings.
my house.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Didn't have much going for a start. So.
No, heck no.
Well, on this 4th end, the general consensus for the New Zealanders was they didn't have much going for them, so keeping it quite simple.
I think they just draw over the side and taking one.
Clean. Clean.
Yep. Oh.
Changing the position as the shooter rolls to the other side of the center line.
Just control.
Fairly straight here, eh?
Hey?
This is fairly straight on this spot, eh?
Is it? I'm just throwing control, so.
All right, yeah.
This time better balance as Sean Becker comes out of the hack.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Looking for late movement to make contact. Nose hit.
Shot.
It's all right. Pretty straight there, just runs at the end.
Sure went all at once, eh?
Hey?
Went all at once.
Oh, that's that down weight.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
that control weight.
Need some help?
We knew where you were.
And the players are talking to Paul Trilson that's jumped the boards coming from the washroom.
Yeah, you can't hurt it. Well. Clean.
We talked about Paul Trilson heading off to the washroom in this new building. Not all of those facilities are working properly.
Yeah. Bored already? Oh, I thought it was the 5th. So was open.
So now a chance for Becker to blank and retain last rock advantage into end number 5.
Yep. Hard! 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 Real hard!
Can they roll the shooter out? It
Get it out,
is
Haynes.
going to get to the edge of the 12. Will it go all the way? No. It stays there for a point.
That curled up a bit.
Great hit and roll.
So New Zealand trails by 2, but the Kiwis have relinquished last rock
right.
advantage to Canada.
Little wimpy third can't get the thing out of the house.
Paul Trulson, the Olympic champion, against David Murdoch of Scotland with his final stone of the 4th end, appeared to be attempting a triple takeout. If successful, he would have been rewarded with possibly 4 points. He moved all 3 stones, but the end result leaves him with just a single point. And through 4 ends of play, it's now 3-2. David Murdoch leading Paul Trulson.
That was an interesting call from Paul. It was an easy draw for 2 with backing. Would have tied the game up. He obviously saw the multiple point opportunity there.
3. By itself.
Aye. Is it in?
It's tight.
It's going to over curl a wee bit.
Cleaning it.
Well, Canada back with the hammer now here in
Good job.
the 5th.
Sit down.
2-point lead.
Good boy.
Well, without a great shot on the 3rd end with his final stone by Sean Becker, this game could all but be over.
7. No, it's not heavy.
Well, I'm not sure about their earlier
Line's
game
good.
today,
6.
New Zealand versus
Keep
Sweden,
going
where
now.
they won their opening round robin game, but
Okay,
they
we're okay,
have
we're
not
okay,
looked
we're
sharp
okay.
in this
Boom.
game at all.
There it goes.
Hard, hard. Go!
Fudge right
Go!
down there.
But you
just
know, I
fudge
think
there.
if you talk to the New Zealand team prior to this competition getting underway and said
Spot in the ice there.
Sweden and Canada on day 1, would you be happy at 1-1? I think they
Oh, absolutely.
quickly say yes.
Hey, what's the worst that's going to
Control.
happen? It's have it back. You running it back?
Aye.
You running it back?
Control.
Control. All right.
You're allowed to hit your own rocks in the free guard zone with the 4-rock rule.
Yep. Yeah, hard. Real hard. Real hard, guys. Real hard. Hard.
Trying to run their own back onto the Canadian stone. They'll get it.
Shot.
Nicely done.
Boy. You're welcome.
Clean. Whoa. Off. Clean. Whoa.
Yep.
With a 2-point lead, Canada doesn't have to take too many chances. They have last rock. Going to hit that stone that's in the rings.
Heads up there. Frost out there. Just a little bit.
Marcel Rock with a big edge at lead stones over his New Zealand contemporary, Warren Dobson. Victoria probably feels like home to the Kiwis. Back in 2001, New Zealand hosted the Pacific Championships, but because they had no dedicated curling facilities, they had to find another venue, and the event was staged at the Esquimalt Curling Club here in Victoria.
Okay, Dan.
New Zealand won.
Just out a bit.
A bit out. You full? It's a bit out. Got a bit out. All right.
We talked about New Zealand getting a new curling facility. In Australia, they're attempting to get some new facilities. Right now, the Sydney Curling Club is a pub. That's where Hugh Milliken and his teammates claim to be their home rink.
It's where there's lots of ice, and they practice there quite a bit, apparently.
Good one.
Yeah, 305 for a guard. 3.5, 3.10.
And as much as we said that Scott Pfeiffer was struggling, he's still out curling his opposition, Dan Mustapik. As much as Canada has missed a few opportunities, New Zealand has not been able to capitalize on any of the misses
Easy, looks fine. High guard, mid guard.
by the Canadians.
Yeah, bring it up tight. Tight as you can. Right up, right up. Get it over to that line if we can.
Trying. All right.
Just keep doing it. Oh, 20.
That's all right.
Take that.
Real hard. Dave, go.
Yeah, even on the simple shots, he's just not making them as crisply. Scott
Floated my
Pfeiffer
first.
isn't.
Maybe not. One of the two.
Floated the first and maybe turned the second a bit. Made them both.
You know, Joan, you made reference to the game
guard.
against Sweden that New Zealand won earlier today by a score of 8-5. New Zealand curled 78% in that game. But in this one, they are struggling at 57% as a team.
12.
Coming in.
Top 12 yet.
10.
Top 8 maybe. That's 9. No, still 12. Top 8.
Okay. Sit down.
They're pretty sharp today.
It's all right.
Roll out. In or out.
Roll out. Peel it out.
Team Canada is just
I know why.
coasting in this
I know why.
end. Quite happy to keep things wide open with that 2-point lead. They're looking to blank. Try to create a better opportunity, a very safe opportunity, I would say, in the 6th end.
With the big weight, Randy Ferbey makes contact, rolls the shooter out. 97% for Ferbey. Frauenlob, 63%.
Randy Ferbey had played very well also in the first draw, playing 82% in their loss to Germany.
Yes, stay about south.
He's been playing very well today.
No, Dub.
Maybe top 12.
Oh, sorry, guys.
So even shots like these, both of these calls were to be guards. And in the 5th end, there's really no excuse to miss that shot.
We'll still go around that, actually, if they take it.
On nose. Right out.
Well, again, Randy Ferbey does not want a nose hit. Because if he does keep the shooter right there in the center line, there's something to go around for the New Zealanders. But he hits and rolls out.
I kind of like the nose, because then if he knows, we could go around.
Yeah, but he could go around. He
He
wouldn't.
wouldn't go around. Wow. Maybe.
A blank's
But if
fine
he,
too,
yeah, but if he went around, you were biting.
A blank is fine too.
Yeah, but you were biting if he went around, and we could get it out and stuff too.
They're just banging everything anyway, so.
I don't mind this. He comes in, we'll go for a blind. He doesn't, well.
And this is something that I really respect
Great,
about
Stephen.
Netowin and Fife, and sorry,
Just
Netowin
tight.
and Ferbey, is that they're always talking about what's going to happen when they make this, or what we should do, or they're always ahead, continually talking about what the options are going to be and what they'll leave the opposition. They're not taking too many vacations from this game. They're not peeking over to the other sheet or disinterested.
Okay.
They're always watching, even in a wide open end like this.
And now they will attempt to go around. An opportunity to score a deuce with last rock on the 5th end.
This is a 2-on-1 situation, and anything in front of the tee line is a pretty good shot here for Dave Netowin. Like to get it
That's all right.
Half, 3/4 buried around that
Center line.
New Zealand stone. And the mistake here is deep.
Well, as you just saw, the third and the skip on this New Zealand team, Frauenlob and Becker, seem to be pretty relaxed, enjoying themselves.
I think there's a lot to be said about what you mentioned, Don. They're coming through opening day with a win already.
Hard line.
And they're playing against a team that's,
Hard for line.
you know, you hate to assume you're not going to beat Canada, but a team like New Zealand is going to look at the field and say, okay, if we can beat the teams we have a really good chance of beating, and occasionally come up and surprise a team or two, that's how we're going to get into the Olympics. And they've already done that today. And again, that's too deep. This now offers us a steal opportunity for New Zealand.
Fraction tighter.
Well, Sean Becker is only at 47%, but as we mentioned on the third end, he made a shot that kept New Zealand in the game.
And he missed a shot in the first end that really he had no chance of making either. I mean, his numbers could be a little higher. But he's also looked at some tough situations. This is a good opportunity, though. That stone of Dave Nedwin's is a foot or two too deep, and a good freeze here will really make things tough on Canada. Could be a steal.
Three.
I talked about Becker in 95-96 spending some time in Canada.
Yep.
He also spent some time in Scotland curling with Hammy Mcmillan and against him.
Hard! Hard, guys, go!
Have they got enough to get it there?
Jeepers.
It's going to come up well short and on the guard, and it's a free draw for 2 with the final stone of the end for David Nedwin.
You're caught twice in that spot.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Third end as well, did the exact same thing.
Marcel Rock had thrown that same draw earlier this end, and they felt it was a bit of a dead spot on the ice. The rocks slowed down and curled just in that very path.
Nice weight, Dave. Same weight.
Canada only has 1 game on tomorrow's draw, and that will be seen on Country Canada as well. It's the afternoon draw. They'll be going against Sweden.
More, definitely more. Oh no. 8-9. Well then, just for line. Just clean. Okay.
Okay, we're okay.
All right, we're all there.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Oh, we're back.
Coming down.
It's fine. It's a big gap.
Sometimes.
And the stone comes to rest at the back of the 8-foot. So it's a pair on end 5 and a 4-point lead at the midpoint. Canada leading New Zealand. Well, a different situation from the opening draw when Canada trailed Germany 3-2 after 5 ends of play. With 3 on the second end and a deuce on the fifth end, Canada enjoys a comfortable 4-point lead over New Zealand, 6-2 after 5 ends. Checking in with Sweden and Germany. And Erik Karlsson with an opportunity with a little quieter weight. He may have had a shot at 3, attempting the run back. He gets the shot stone. And he gets a rub off the top red for the shooter to score his second point. So it's a deuce on the fifth end and a 4-3 lead. Sweden over Germany through 5 ends of play. Scotland needs Norway 3-2, and it's 4-3 Finland over Italy playing the fifth end. Canada's Randy Ferbey trying to even his record at 1-1, leading Sean Becker of New Zealand by a score of 6-2 through 5. Well, against Germany on the opening draw, Canada could not manufacture a 3. They got a triple early in their game against New Zealand, scoring 3 on the second end. And that got them started, and then it was only a great shot on the third end by Sean Becker that prevented Canada from stealing maybe as many as 5.
Well, Canada's looking way better this game. Dave Nedwin struggled earlier today. He's picked up his game. Scott Pfeiffer still struggling. But when they were given the opportunity early in this game, putting some rocks in play, they were able to get 3 here in the second end. An open draw set up by a great couple of shots by Randy Ferbey. And a miss by Sean Becker gives this open draw for Canada for 3.
And Mike, on the next end, they debated what shot that Sean Becker should play. He was wobbly coming out of the hack, but still made a great shot.
This is about as good as they could have hoped for. And a little more weight, that red rock would have kept spinning right out of the forefoot. And again, a happy steal of 1. You look at this team, New Zealand, we talked about them going through the motions a little bit. I think Team Canada, this is a great opportunity for them to bounce back after a tough loss this morning and have an easy, low-stress type of game. And with Sean Becker not willing to mix it up, this is the type of game it's been for Canada so far.
Well, Canada on the last end got the opportunity with last rock advantage to score a pair, and they did so to take a 6-2 lead into end number 6.
The 4th World Men's Curling Championships on CBC. Brought to you by Ford. Built for life in Canada.
A wide stance keeps you steady on your feet. So mounting the shocks outside the frame widen the stance of the Ford F-150. It's the first pickup to do this. Good luck knocking this off its feet. We keep thinking about tough because we want you to drive a Ford.
You already know these uses for your Karcher. Here's a few you might not have thought of. The hat rack. The shower. The centerpiece. The chandelier. You can always use a Karcher.
The Ford World Men's Curling Championships on CBC. Brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Scott Paper Limited and its family of quality paper products. And by Tim Hortons. Roll up the rim to win.
Well, Canada looking to be in pretty good shape to finish day 1 with a 1-1 record. Only one game on tomorrow's draw, and that is an afternoon contest against Sweden. Sweden trying to get back to 1-1 after losing their opening game 8-5 to this New Zealand team. They're playing Germany, and they lead through 5 ends of play by a score of 4-3. Our first draw tomorrow, however, will be on the main network of the CBC. Switzerland against the United States. Only 2 games on the morning draw, and we'll bring you the game between Pete Penson of the USA and Andreas Schwaller of Switzerland. And a lineup change has been made by
You're in trouble now. We bought
Team New Zealand. As Sean Becker said, you're in trouble now. We've brought in the old guy, and he is the oldest member of the team, 49-year-old Lorne DePape, a native of St. Boniface, replacing Warren Dobson at lead stone.
Well, hopefully Lorne DePape can talk Sean Becker into playing with a few more rocks in play. When you're down this much in the game, the only way that you're going to get some points on Team Canada is by getting some guards up front and throwing some great freezes.
No, everything just aches so much. It's hard to sleep.
And you can hear Nedowan talking about he had several layers of clothes on to start the game. And in these arenas, it's very, very warm. You start to wonder he wasn't sweeping. He's feeling a little achy. Perhaps the effects of a cold coming on.
Lorne DePape at 49 is the oldest player in this competition. Joe Polo of the United States is the youngest at 22.
Shaky, but I think it's there. Good. No, fine. Okay.
I had a weird split. I sounded like 49. I thought, what? Give it a. It looked like a bit of a push with his hand.
Yeah, bring it off the line a wee bit.
It's pretty good.
Yep. Bring it off the line a bit.
Good boy, Lauren. Shot.
The Pap has been living in New Zealand for 13 years. He lives in a place called Tia Awamatu, and it's about 2 hours south of Auckland, he was telling me. He's in the agricultural business there.
4-5. A lot of room. Looks like it's slowing to me. Oh, Nick, we're anywhere near the same as the other.
Same ice.
Really? I'd put it out.
Be great.
First one in.
That's all right. Yep. Doesn't know.
Maybe a little less, guys.
I don't know, Lauren. I think it's all right.
Okay.
Oh,
Looking for another corner guard by New Zealand,
Easy,
and then
just
we'll
leave it,
anticipate Canada starting to peel those guards.
Easy.
Way to go, Lauren. Nice shot. Good shot, Rock. Good boy.
good weight, Lauren.
2 corner guards from the Pap. And as you anticipated, Joan, Randy Ferbey positions the brush beside the highest corner guard and wants Scott Pfeiffer to remove it.
Real hard. 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 Hard.
Could he get both of them?
Boy, oh boy. That was ugly. Look at this.
Hard, Dave. Hard.
That was ugly.
He's talking about the release by Scott Pfeiffer. He thinks that he's pointing the rock towards the target
You don't like
instead of
freezing
at the
theirs?
broom.
Try this.
One more guard, maybe.
Guard?
It's only well, it's only my first, eh?
Hey.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, guard it. Sure. This is my first shot, maybe.
Looking to throw another guard. Now every team works chemistry differently, and we have talked about Randy Ferbey's attitude during the Brier. He's a very, very intense player, and what he will know, these teammates have been together for 5 years. They all know what they're going to get from each other when they're struggling.
10.
And obviously, this is Randy's way,
That's fine,
is
guys.
to tell
That's
people
fine.
directly when they're
Easy.
not playing very well. Doesn't work for me.
Oh, easy.
I would not be appreciating that
Whoa,
kind
whoa,
of
whoa, whoa.
feedback personally myself,
Goddamn.
but
I want to give him an angle on those. Oh, it's okay.
Let's check in on Marco Uusipaavalniemi of Finland and Stefano Ferronato of Italy. This is Uusipaavalniemi's stone attempting to get to that shot stone, and it's a steal of 1 by Italy. Had he been successful with that run back, he could have got 3, maybe 4. However, with the steal, it's a 4-4 tie through 5 ends of play, Finland and Italy.
Rolled up.
Back eight.
house.
You see both
What's the weight?
New Zealand guards now
Yes,
missing
back
from the
house. Back
picture.
8. Back 8.
Back eight, yeah.
Back 8.
Scott Pfeiffer did
Back
make
house,
the double,
back eight.
double peel on his second shot.
And so often, as we saw at the Brier, Scott Pfeiffer was the setup man for some
Hey.
big ends for
Yep, the line.
Back
the
8.
Ferbey team.
Yep, the line.
Hard line.
Yep, the line.
Hard line. Hard line.
Hard for
I
line.
can't recall them giving up a
Hard
4
line.
at the Brier. They gave up
Yep.
4
Real hard.
to Germany this morning.
Okay, whoa, whoa.
Usually they
Whoa.
were
Nice shot,
scoring
Danny.
4
Good boy.
on almost every draw in the early stages of Brier week in Edmonton.
and they play with so many
Doesn't
rocks in
matter.
play.
Doesn't
It's not like there hasn't been
Doesn't
other
matter, yeah.
opportunities for teams to have 4 rocks in play. I think the difference being that Dave Nedowan normally saves Ferbey's team when they're looking at a whole bunch. He'll make the perfect freeze, the great hit and roll, and he was struggling as well in the earlier game today, getting his rocks where he wanted them.
Well, we've heard him in discussion several times now with Pfeiffer and Rock, and perhaps His health is not what it should be. He seems to be suffering a bit, talking about feeling a lot of aches and pains, and perhaps coming down with a touch of the flu. Nice chip by Randy Ferbey to remove the yellow New Zealand stone.
Hey.
Do you like hitting? Just want to hit? Not really. Again.
Randy
Tap it
Ferbey's
back
just
or
playing
squeeze the other one?
great today. Just making everything in
Throw
sight.
it back? Yeah, I think so.
Well, through 5
try that,
ends,
Franken.
Ferbey is 98%.
Okay. I think so.
That's T, isn't it?
Yeah. 3 Hans. Got to keep it on the inside of that one, though.
95?
Still 3 Hans. Yeah, I think it's 3.
Okay.
Not bad.
Hans had overthrown both of his guard
it's all
attempts
there.
last end.
Easy, Lauren.
He needs a
Stay
freeze.
close for line, though. Stay
T.
close
T.
for line. Stay close for line.
It's coming down.
Yep.
Come on now. Whoa.
Room. Just for weight.
Whoa.
Just for weight.
It's there. It's there.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
It's there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, no, no.
Good shot.
Shut hands.
Without the perfect line, you know that Randy Ferbey is so good at this big weight pick.
And of course, it's a situation where Ferbey isn't all that concerned about what he does with his own stone sitting behind
Clean.
the rock he's attempting to remove.
Yep.
How about that? He picks it cleanly.
Routine for Randy Ferbey.
Don't look at me like that.
Like, don't look at me like that. Superstar.
That was Marcel. He goes, "Phew." Don't look at me like that.
I'm not saying anything.
No, he told Marcel that. He laughed. How close were they anyway? 4 inches, 5 inches?
Weight's good. Same weight.
For line.
Yep, come on, guys, go for line.
And that's where Scott
Go
Pfeiffer
line.
should lean
Go
in
for
and
line.
say, I'm just
There.
making you look good, Ferbey, by missing all my shots.
Tapping it back. Whoa. Tapping it back just a bit.
Whoa,
It's bumping.
Close.
It's bumping.
Whoa.
whoa, whoa,
Bumping.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
whoa. Better line.
That's all right.
Again, an opportunity to chip this stone out.
Same weight on those two.
More room.
the shot of the day.
It's an easier shot
Thanks.
for Dave Nettowin. Just needs to hit it on the broom side, on the left-hand side anywhere. We'll remove that cleanly.
This one's
Pull
way
it
easier,
probably
so you
comes
won't get
across
near
on
the
the
clock
rock.
that Randy did.
Dave Nettowin saying to the front end
It's all right.
that this one should be easier than the one that Randy Ferbey picked out. The crowd reacted most favorably to the shot by Ferbey. How will they react to this one by Nettowin?
Clean.
Marcel Rock said, you won't get the same applause.
Clean.
It's good to see they got their sense of humor back. There wasn't a lot of laughs going on in this afternoon's game when everyone was struggling.
Well, I would think on a noise meter,
gave him
the
a big
scale of the
high.
reaction would be just about the same.
They must have been looking at your butt then instead of your shot.
That looks a lot tighter from the other end.
Either that hit and flop on top of it.
As long as you're frozen.
Slightly inside.
Got here. Like that.
I know, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything we do. Perfect.
Talking about crowd reaction to their seemingly simple shots. It's great to be
Still
in the
3.
hometown
Aye.
crowd.
Still 3.
Yeah.
As long as you make them.
That's
Same shot
right.
as Haynes.
As long as you're playing well, it feels wonderful.
Well, there are expectations for this Canadian team playing on home soil to do well. And that's why the Ferbey team was so disappointed with their performance on the opening draw against Germany. They were not up to their usual standards.
I'm going to tell you, it didn't matter where they were playing this afternoon. When they play poorly like that,
What you got, guys?
they're not
T by
happy with
itself.
themselves. And it wasn't just about
Yep,
playing
close.
at home. It was
Oh,
about
T by itself, Hans.
starting off so
Not yet.
poorly in
It's
an
got a
event
curl.
that is
Got a
important
curl.
to them.
Whoa! It's coming down now.
It's there. No, it's there. Close. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's there.
Whoa,
It's there.
whoa, 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 whoa.
It's there.
Okay, Sean.
Shot. Shot.
Same shot again for Dave Nettowin.
Just had to come another half an inch. Nice throw. Good
they
way.
all go. We will force them to one because as long as we're on the outside. this 2 rock shouldn't spin too far.
Okay.
Don't you think?
All right. Be careful it doesn't start to float, though. You know what I mean?
No, it shouldn't.
No, I mean when we sweep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just same shot.
I agree with Dave Netto, and it really is the same shot. They don't really need to overthink this in terms of if they pick one of their own red stones on the way. Not a big deal.
The key is to try to force them to take one.
Same shot.
And to do so, they just need to save one of their own stones in the ring somewhere. Another option, they could actually nose this as well. But they're electing to hit it on the high side.
Behind your rock.
Playing the nose is just playing it too cute, really, for the score being up 4. Pick it out of there, and if the downside is you remove everything and they're able to blank, no big deal.
Deal.
Yep. Oh.
Yep.
David Nedwin endeavoring to remove the yellow stone belonging to New Zealand. Can he do it cleanly? He does.
Hey, you put your 2 claps together, they're like Randy's.
What's that?
So you put those 2 claps together, it's about Randy's.
See, everything's a competition, you know, how much claps they get for each other, that kind of stuff.
Control.
Trailing by 4, Sean Becker with the final stone of this 6th end. Trying to get a point. He's looking at 3 Canadian stones.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Right up. Hard. Right up, guys. Real hard. Right up, boys.
He needs a nose hit.
Real hard. Great brush, guys. Way to go.
And it will hang around in the 8-foot for Shot Rock.
Doing it the interesting way. Yep. Shot John. Shot skipper.
So through 6, 3 points separate Canada and New Zealand. Welcome back to the 2005 Ford World Men's Curling Championship in the game between Norway and Scotland with the final stone. David Murdoch of Scotland trying to remove the red rock belonging to Paul Trulson. He does successfully, and as a result picks up a pair and moves into a 5-2 advantage over the Olympic gold medalist. 4-4 Germany and Sweden, 4-4 Finland and Italy. The latter game in the 6th end, Germany and Sweden playing the 7th.
What's that?
Sean, your team's ready to throw. Marcel Rock and Scott Pfeiffer laughing at the situation as Lauren DePape was whistling, trying to get Becker's attention, who is talking to some fans sitting behind the sheet.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tight for line. It's going to over curl, guys.
It's going to come off the line. It's going to come off the line.
Just over, just over. Just over.
Shot, Lauren.
Just a bit tight, yeah.
It's all right.
Well, the New Zealand numbers through 6 ends have improved from the 50% they were after 3 ends. They're now at 63%, but the bad news is the Canadian numbers have also improved. Canada now at 92% as a team.
And very, very simple game strategically for Randy Ferbey and his team, with New Zealand not willing to mix it up.
Better. No, it's all there.
First end was a little messy, but after beyond that, it's been very, very simple for the most part for Randy and his team.
Okay, throw.
And he said the numbers for New Zealand being low, considering their strategy with you expect low numbers when there's a lot of rocks in play, but there's really been very little going on in the last couple of ends.
Better line, too. Where do you want it, Sean?
New Zealand choosing to put more rocks in play this end, though, looking for a second guard.
Yep.
They don't want this rock to slip into the rings.
Yep.
Bring it back to the line. Right up, guys, right up.
We're just throwing up corner guards.
That's all right. Any guard's a good guard, really. Okay.
Go wait, Lauren.
I agree with them. At this stage of the game, and you're down 3, you don't have last rock, any guard is going to work in your favor right now.
Well, during the break, Sean Becker had an interesting comment to his teammates. He said, it's going to be in for a bit of a go now, I would think.
I think they've been in for a bit of a go since the first rock of this game.
Oh, Marty. Whoa. Go by it. That's not very good. Oh, it's more weight. Well, but different release, more weight, stay straighter for a longer time. What do you think?
He said just more weight, but it still didn't end up in the same line.
And talking about the stones again. You just get the feeling that these MCA rocks that they're using
10.
time and time again aren't reacting the same on this particular surface as they have in previous Briars.
Looks fine. A lot of room.
It's early in the week.
Starting to come down now.
Ferbey and his team seem mystified
Take a lot
by
of weight.
the reaction on many of the stones so far.
And you and I have talked about this before, and that is rocks will react different on different surfaces, and a lot of it has to do with the humidity in the building, but also on the type of ice surface that is provided. And you can't always rely on that rock knowledge. And here's our key matchup for the day, the seconds. And although Scott Pfeiffer has been struggling, Dan Mustapik has not given him much of a game.
Well, Pfeiffer has picked up his numbers in the last few ends.
Real hard.
He's looking for a double peel.
He came so close to getting the stone in the rings.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So they got that red small guy.
That's fine. I like the first shot. It's fine. Yeah.
Wonderful freeze by Dan Mustapik on his first stone. Now looking to guard, shot stone on the button.
Yeah, a little bit tight.
Weight's there, tight guard. Fight self, guys, fight self.
Here?
Fight self.
No, just tight. Gotta go now.
Mid guard, mid tight.
Oh.
Coming down, Sean.
Yep. For line.
Oh.
Front line.
Whoa.
I know. Just talking about. Yep.
Okay.
Shot, Dan.
Stein, Danny.
Shot, Dan.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott.
Shot, Danny. Thanks.
Looking for another peel.
Yep. Hard. Really hard. Come on.
He runs it back onto his own.
Sorry, guys.
That's both of his peel attempts over curled. That one more than his first one,
just
which
a guard.
is
There,
really
he's right.
uncharacteristic.
Yeah. So do you want it in the rings or just tight?
All right.
Short, right? Yeah, short. Yeah.
Here, I think.
Yep, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Short.
Short's okay. 10.
Whoa, guys. Whoa.
I got 3.
No.
I think it's all there.
It's in.
It's got a lot of room.
Half around that red one. It's not bad, guys. Let it curl.
No. It's coming
It's
in.
Here it comes. It's in. Here it comes. Stay with it.
Coming down now.
Oh. Stay with
Short.
it.
Yep.
Just short now. Oh.
Whoa.
Just 12.
Whoa.
Wee bit, Lauren.
Yep.
Wee bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ferbey with quite an advantage over Hans Fraunlob at third stone. Ferbey at 98%. Trying to think of where he missed a shot.
Oh, it would have been a 3 out of 4, that's all. So it wasn't much of a miss.
And that's good news for Scott Pfeiffer when he's playing poorly. That you got somebody like Randy Ferbey cleaning up your messes behind you. And that's a half shot there, Don. So his percentage points might go down 1 or 2.
I sometimes challenge the decisions the scorers make in awarding points. Some might say, who scores the scores?
Well, this is it. We were joking at the Canada Cup, if you watch Randy Ferbey's team play, they very rarely actually call a shot. They put the broom down, they throw it, and when they're done, they just kind of lift their hand and say, nice shot, regardless of where it stops. So quite often they're getting fours. And he's, again, a good example is Scott Pfeiffer curling at 85%, but it's just not been a sharp 85%. A lot of hit and rolls that are just getting to the wings or just barely rolling out of play. And you could always argue that those aren't 4 out of 4s. But certainly over the course of a week, generally speaking, the stats they reflect trends on how you're playing. So we always look at, as a competitor, always look at trends on outturns and versus interns, draws versus hits, that sort of thing, as opposed to individual stats or overall stats.
Sit. Well then.
Whoa. Love it. Whoa.
Whoa then.
Love it.
No. Roll it, I guess. Yep.
Canada with shot stone.
A little bit of trouble here.
You got to come on the intern, really, don't you?
You probably do, actually.
New Zealand with a chance to lie 2 in the 4-foot area.
Be bad because
Nose not bad. Would skirt the 3 over there.
yeah, well then you can just throw the double. But
Yeah. A little roll
Yeah.
inside.
what do you reckon?
Want to throw?
Board?
Board? Okay.
Yeah.
Bumper.
Board weight,
We're just a wee board. See if
Hit.
we get a wee flop.
roll the shooter, a wee flop
Hit and roll is
into
the only shot we got.
side of the 4-foot.
Yeah. Well, even if we catch it straight on the nose and bump the yellow across a wee bit, wouldn't be bad.
All right. Bumper.
Just bumper.
So a great chance here for New Zealand. Put some pressure on Canada. Not just to steal one, but to steal a couple with a perfect hit and roll here.
Yep. Down. Yep. Hack. Hard. Right up, guys. Right up, guys.
Hard!
Hard, boys. Come on.
Real
DePape
hard,
and
Dominic
Mustafa
Crowley. Right
jumped on this one
hard!
almost immediately upon release.
An opportunity squandered there by New Zealand. And I said right at the top of the show that this is really the difference between experienced and inexperienced teams, and that is the ability to throw that weight that's in between the draw and full weight takeout. The
Just need
back
full
line, the hack weight, and to throw those accurately. That's the big difference.
Well, if it came into the 4-foot, that's okay. If it comes into the 4-foot, it's all right.
Yeah, it's down a bit, Skipper.
Oh yeah. Down a fraction of what I wanted to throw. So.
No, that's not bad. Still got something going here.
That's optimistic.
Yeah, depending on what Nedwin does with this stone, they might not have much going on this end.
Just for line. 8. Well then. Just for line. Whoa. 9. Whoa.
Coming
Roll
down.
it.
Whoa, it's coming.
Up.
Line's good. Line's real good. Yep. Whoa. Attaboy, Dave. Ooh, little deep, little deep.
Oh.
Huge pocket.
Which one are you freezing to? This
Nedwin
one?
with a big advantage at skip stones over Sean Becker.
Not real bad.
Oh, not real great.
No, I know, but not real bad.
Said this several times in this game, but this is another opportunity for Sean Becker to make a decent freeze and really put some pressure on, and he hasn't made one of them yet, so he's due.
He's got a lovely little pocket just to draw into and be virtually unremovable by Canada.
Yeah, I think so.
Even if Canada would have made that shot a foot higher, this freeze would have still been available, but it would have to be perfect on line. Now with that pocket, it's just a bigger target for Sean Becker to draw into.
Right here, guys. Back 8. Clean it. Back
Clean
8.
it.
Yep, come on.
Hard
much
line. Weight's all there.
Back 8. Back 8. Yep.
Whoa!
Yep. Hard! Line! Go hard!
Good looking
Go hard.
stone.
Flop it, Lauren. Flop it over.
They didn't flop it over. They thought with the contact they'd flop right on top of the shot rock at the back of the button.
That over
Just had to sweep it up a
The same
fraction.
thing you just
What's that?
I just had to sweep it up a fraction to get that little bit of a...
Yeah, a little flop. Well, we're sort of in no man's land there. 'cause
Yeah,
it was
I know.
coming across. And
Yeah,
9, 10,
on. 8, 9. You shot?
Just looking for a
I-
lightweight tap.
I didn't look.
Maybe
but Randy
nudge
said their
this
shot.
Yellowstone out of the 4-foot.
So, just
Very easy
like a
for,
9.
not very easy, but easy for
Just a
2.
nudge, just got a nudge and a
Maybe
hair.
there for
Even
3.
if we bump it right back on our other one, we should still get 2.
Yeah. Nail it, dude.
And that's the one thing that this Ferbey team is so capable of, is throwing that very gentle weight to move stones around.
And that's a lot of confidence in their sweepers as well. Call out, judge this, and be able to carry it that
7,
extra
8,
foot or 2 that's
8.
needed to remove that rock.
Clean. 9. Whoa. Yep. 9, 10. Whoa. 10. Hard. Whoa.
10. No, whoa.
There is the possibility, if he catches this one just right, they could score 3.
Shot.
No, they'll only get 2. However, a deuce on end number 7, and Canada now has a 5-point lead. Tomorrow on the main network of CBC television, beginning at 12:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific Time, it's Andreas Schwaller of Switzerland against Pete Fenson of the United States. And then on Country Canada, beginning at 5 Eastern Time tomorrow, it will be Eric Carlson of Sweden against Randy Ferbey of Canada. And Canada is in front by a score of 8-3. Let's check on Norway and Scotland. Scotland leading by a score of 5-2. Paul Trulson with his final stone of the 8th end, and an opportunity to score a pair. And he makes no mistake, gently tapping back the Scottish stone, and it's a 1-point game. Scotland leading with 2 ends remaining. This could be the final end of the game between Canada and New Zealand. Canada in front by 5 points.
It's a good shot there by Marcel Rock. You just want to get that rock in front of the tee line, get it in the house, and not give the opposition a guard.
New Zealand at this stage of the game has to go for multiple points.
Weight's good, tight guard.
Try to
Just
score
mid's
3
fine.
here.
Middle tight. Just keep it clean. Good weight, Lauren.
Well done.
Well, you're right, Joan. Randy Ferbey's numbers did drop on the last end to 91%.
He had 2 half shots there, actually. Second shot
Anything tight.
tapped and rolled off.
Got a lot. Small tap.
That's good.
It's good. It doesn't walk like the other one.
No.
3.
There are the percentages for all the team members. Ferbey and Nedowin topping the
Doesn't matter. I won't be using.
team at 91%.
I don't know if that first one just picks.
No, it's like right when it starts slowing down, the handle slows down and then
Top
it
12.
like
Top 8.
Weight's good.
A lot of room.
It's Marcel Rock and Dave Nedowin. Talking about the difference
Freeze.
between Marcel's 2
Freeze.
rocks, we've seen over and over again that his second stone does not
Easy.
curl as much as his first one.
Weight's there.
Line's pretty good.
Yep. Easy.
Room. Oh.
Good job, Lauren. Way to go.
Shot, Lauren.
I'll take it, Dave. I'll take it, Dave.
Pfeiffer going after the corner guard, and Marcel Rock working on this one by himself.
Come on. I don't like.
Just takes off or what?
Back line? Yep. Clean out of my
Nobody,
hand.
yeah, nobody yelled out here.
Tight or just starting them or?
85. Yeah.
The most disconcerting part about this is every player has games that they struggle. I just don't like the lack of feedback that Randy Ferbey is giving Scott Pfeiffer. Let him know. Did you throw it clean? Did you not? Did you turn it? Give him some sort of feedback so that he can fix the problem.
85.
Yeah, line. Back line.
Back line.
Yep, the line.
Sure.
Yep. Your line. Your side. Hard line.
Hard. Hard.
Real hard. Real hard.
Shooting, Danny. Oh, boy.
Shot.
Shot, Dan.
That's a pistoli, Danny. Way to go.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Hey, Scott.
Power
Scott
throwing.
Pfeiffer.
Sorry, Don. Power throwing big weight here. They're going to play the angle raise as opposed to the hitting the one in the rings.
Whoa.
I'm close.
Okay.
And once again,
Not bad.
just a lot of silence from Randy Ferbey, and I
that
just
back?
don't understand it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What's he saying?
That would do.
He's just saying he's not throwing them that good.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad he's saying that.
Well,
because
I
it's not.
said, well, what happened? Nobody jumped out of your hand, and he goes, I don't know. I must just be starting them a bit.
Well, don't you know? A lot of times you gotta, especially when I throw a peel, I know. Oh, gotta go.
Well, from the sound of that conversation between Netherwind and Ferbey, Ferbey might not be sure himself what Pfeiffer is doing.
No, I think he's assuming that Scott knows that he's not throwing it very well.
Right,
He's
self.
making the assumption that he's just continuing to throw badly,
Clean it,
and
clean it, clean it, clean it.
I think from
Just clean it, just clean it.
the exchange between the players, I don't think Scott
Okay,
really
Dan.
does know what's going on with his rocks.
Well, he doesn't know why he's throwing it badly. I think that's the biggest issue. He knows something's wrong. But
They all
not-
might go.
Almost to get them all.
When you're throwing badly, you don't need anybody else to come tell you that you're struggling. You know that. What you need is, what do I need to do to fix it? Give me a suggestion of how to throw it better for the next shot.
That guy's been singing the entire game, hasn't he?
Yeah. What's he on?
Yep, go. Hard! 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 Hard!
Ferbey trying to do some damage, and he gets rid of 2 of the New Zealand rocks.
It's a great shot.
David.
Oh, no, yeah, I think one guard, no?
One.
What's that? Want to go around that? You
Just
could.
one more. It's okay.
$310.
Frauenlob attempting to get around the 2 stones, one at the top of the button, or top of the 4, and the other in the 8.
Just clean, no more.
Whoa.
Whoa, Lauren.
Whoa.
Well, at least I thought that's what the initial plan was.
That's all right.
Jeez, they finished. Well, we could leave it there, and that'd be the worst, wouldn't it? Run it back again?
I think so.
At least the guard will be gone.
Yeah.
If it screws up.
If it does this, that's okay. I'll try this. Yeah. Same throw.
Same sort of throw. Gotta go hard.
Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hard. Hurry. Whoa. Hard. Whoa.
How about that shot?
All right, Dave. Yep.
Both shots by Randy Ferbey, fantastic. Great big weight player.
Good shots.
Aye.
Bit more.
Only good news for New Zealand, there is still a corner guard.
Three.
Room.
Yep.
Lot of room, guys.
Clean.
Stay with it.
Pretty good.
Weight's good.
Well,
Well, stay close.
stay with it.
Well,
Well,
well by. You're well by. You're well by.
well by. Just
Gotta
for
go.
weight.
Gotta go. Yep, go hard. Right back.
Hard
First
for
will go.
weight then.
First
Good
will
looking
go.
come around here.
Back here if you can.
Go far.
Wonderful shot.
Frown lob into the 8
Shot
foot
hands.
shot stone.
Shots.
Thanks.
Well, it's been an uphill struggle as Marco Usopavolnimi of Finland battles with Stefano Ferronato of Italy. And on the 7th end, the Finns get a deuce to take a 6-4 lead.
Wow, Don, that was a mouthful on those two names. You did that beautifully.
9 vowels in Usopavolnimi's name. Nedwin almost got the run back. Now we suggested that this game could end on this 8th end, but if the Kiwis get a deuce, they'll continue playing.
Oh, I thought that would have been fine getting it.
Well, I don't think we go there.
Yeah.
I think we have to go half around and sit on top of that
Okay.
one if you want to try that.
Here?
Try that. Just split the house.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Come on. We'll out of here.
I think this is the right call. You split the house, you're only going to say you're going to get 2. You have to try to
Yeah,
get
no.
3. This is the 8th end already, down 5 points. Need to come in around that guard,
Half around's fine.
half
half
around
around,
and
half
half
in the
guarding the
loose.
shot
Done.
stone. Do the Christmas tree. Get into to be second shot. Come into this area.
Still 3 to the teeth.
Half cover the shot
Well, we've
stone
only just gotta
and
get
make
top 8, so top 12.
either hit a little bit more difficult for Dave Nedwin.
Five.
Just here, guys.
Looks pretty good.
Lots of room, boys.
No, it's got a curl.
By itself.
It's coming
No
down
line,
now.
guys. No line at all. Just need half the 12 foot for second shot. Go. Yep. Come on. Go hard.
Hard.
Go, guys. Come on. Right back.
Nice line here. Got to get this to finish.
Hard. Okay. That's fine. It's a good shot.
Did not get second
Good second.
shot,
That's all right. That's
but
fine.
the line
As long as
was
it was right?
very good.
Hey?
As long as it was on the range.
Yeah.
Good shot. Not bad. That's exactly
Sammy
what
didn't
we
come
wanted
in
to
and
do.
Yeah, I guess so. Eh?
Oh, that's all
No
right.
matter what we're giving up 2, unless we make a perfect draw. But even at that,
You still might give him 2 or
still
3.
giving them
You can't go over there, it gives him a double. You have to go here.
2. Oh yeah, but that could just
Give it
easily
back
give
here.
him a double almost.
Well, I know. Well, no, but you tuck a piece. The
Well,
shooter
what if
should
we
roll up.
came this way? Could we actually get a shot there? As long as we're beating that one out, we're giving them 2 anyways.
Yeah, that's tough out there though too, eh?
I
Man,
mean,
oh, man.
if we curled enough, we could get a shot behind the tee.
Yeah, we're going out in the tulips here.
Yeah, I know. Hate to give him that split for 3.
I think we gotta come this way, Dave.
All right.
Take enough ice. You know what? And if it
What
stops
about this
here,
even? It's not
yeah,
the end
if
of
it
the
stops
world,
here.
so he gets 2.
Yeah, but I'll have enough ice that.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't want to hit this stone.
You know what, Randy? That
It's
double's
not,
almost there.
Second shot.
can you jam it though?
I don't
But
know.
why not play the scoreboard, Mike? Yeah,
I
you're
agree.
up 5 points.
Hit
Hit
what?
that stone and give up 2. I don't
No.
understand this call.
They're risking giving up 3 by
Yeah,
not
but you
playing
tick that
it.
guard.
Yeah, I know. It's there. The double's there. It's definitely there.
Dave's saying that he can see enough
Can we
of that
jam
top
or no?
stone to make the double
No,
on the 2 New
but
Zealand
you tick
stones.
the guard.
But yeah, that's a risky shot as well. Randy Ferbey wants him to draw in, try to get shot stone or in the very least second shot stone.
Yeah. Draw around and keep him to 2.
Wouldn't be bad there.
By peeling the top one up.
Like to get it back here.
Keeping him to 2.
And there's the suggestion by Scott Pfeiffer to peel out the
putting
top
rock
one.
anywhere in the house. Well, you might give him a double if you're even halfway around them. Yeah.
We're up 5.
Set?
We're up 5.
Well, ask him.
Randy, just want to peel the top yellow?
Give him 2. Come on. He's asking if you just want to peel the top yellow and give him 2.
What's your call here?
Randy isn't moving the brush.
Well, and he's not
peel the top
talking
yellow.
either.
Why? Well, what?
Whatever you like.
What's wrong with this?
Can we give him a double for 3 or no? Well, why is he... Whatever you think.
Body language speaks
the right
more than
shot.
words, I
Right
think,
center,
right
the
about
scoreboard.
now. How about not talking to your team and turning away and then begrudgingly putting down the broom? I'm afraid Mr. Ferbey, a sports psychologist,
Whoa.
could have a
Real
lot of
hard.
fun.
Hard. Whoa.
Whoa!
I believe that's the best call. I agree with Scott Pfeiffer. Play the scoreboard. You're up 5 and give up the deuce.
We're up 5. Give a double 3. Just rub off or something stupid happen.
Well, Marcel Rock talking with the team leader Jim Waite and Dan Hollowaychuk sitting behind the scoreboard and explaining the reasoning for the shot they played.
Gotta go, I think.
5. Let's go. Can't hurt it.
A draw for 2 for Sean Becker.
Oh, yeah,
Has he
go
got
hard.
enough to get there? He has to beat out the stone at the back of the 12 to get his deuce.
Real hard.
Can they drag it far enough? It looks as though it's
Wait,
going
guys.
to just slide through the 12 and into the 8 with the
Told you, I'll
extra
throw the
brush
same
and
way
bringing
when
it
you
in.
sleeve it.
And they do get their deuce. There were some anxious moments for the New Zealanders, but it's now a 3-point game with 2 ends left. Checking the game between Germany and Sweden, and the final stone of the 8th end for Erik Karlsson, trying just to nudge his own back for shot. The red rock belonging to Germany is the shot stone. He just touches his own stone, but not really enough to move it. And it's a steal of 1 for Germany and a 5-4 lead. Finland leads Italy 6-4. Scotland ahead of Norway by a score of 5-4 through 7 ends of play.
Spinner, 15. I think it's okay. I think it's all right.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it'll carry with that handle.
It's coming down a bit.
That was a well played in there by New Zealand, resulting in 2 points, but they're still up against it. They need to steal
Wait a minute at the end, Hans.
1
yeah.
and 2 if they hope to tie this game.
Shot.
Send in extra ends.
Or steal 2 this end.
That would be a good start, exactly.
There was some discussion
Spur line. Line's
between
good.
David
Line.
Nadewin and
Should go now.
Brian Moore and Jimmy Waite during the break. Dan Hollowaychuk was thinking about coming into the game. They were thinking of making a replacement, but Randy Ferbey wanted Dave Nadewin to stay in the game. So as a result, Dan Hollowaychuk is enjoying some snacks.
More weight than I'm thinking of there.
The job of the 5th.
He's busy. He's very busy.
He's a great player, and he has come in to sub for this team before. They do have confidence in his ability to make a lot of shots.
Less weight, Sean.
Hey?
Less weight.
Less. We'll go hard.
You can bring it around, guys.
Hard to get it round.
In the past, Dan Holloway-Chuck has come in for Randy Ferbey when
Hard.
in the Briar when Randy Ferbey's knees were bothering him early in the week.
Right back.
And very early in this game, Dave Netherwin was complaining that he was not feeling well. So that's why there was some consideration given to having Holloway-Chuck come in to replace him.
Is that tight ice?
Netherwin will get an opportunity tomorrow to rest. He'll be able to sleep in because they don't play until the afternoon, and they've only got one game on tomorrow's schedule, and that's against Sweden.
Lev it up. Yep. Lev it up. Yep.
Playing the tick shot.
Lots of weight.
Great shot.
You can move the stone, but can't take it out of play. That's exactly what Brock does. He moves the stone just outside the rings, but it is still in play.
That's a fantastic shot.
Sleep, it'll never get out. Lots of room.
15.
Guard. Just a guard.
Lots of room. Oh.
Man. Come on, it's out here. Come on, Lord.
Oh, it's way out there.
Come on. It's over.
Sure?
Yeah.
Throwing up another guard, it'll give Scott Pfeiffer another chance for a peel, perhaps a double peel. Most of his rocks have been over curling. Whether it's to do with his rocks or whether it's to do with his release. He will attempt another double peel right here.
Whoa!
Well, we couldn't really tell from this shot by Pfeiffer whether there was anything unusual about his release.
Oh, one of them at least.
He smiles.
Yeah, exactly.
His reaction to getting one of the stones out front.
Guard.
Mustapik again playing the guard.
19.
Same thing. And 19.
Just over.
That's about the same.
Remember your side to finish it.
Whoa.
Mid.
Whoa. I really want to put them too close together.
Finish for line.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Shot.
Good, Dan.
It's another crack at it. These are harder when they're so close together in terms of line.
Just one.
Aye.
Dave Netto's not even sweeping these peels, just standing off to the side.
Hard.
Holy
Hard.
Scott.
Now you gotta move.
Well, both Yellowstones belonging to New Zealand are taken out of play. But Randy Ferbey is still a little upset.
Freeze. Yeah.
Move five.
Ferbey's getting grumpy because that's actually not a bad shot. Got rid of both of those yellow guards. He did leave his own stone up there, but
Should be heaps, boys, heaps.
Double O.
Okay, not bad.
Yep.
It'll bust, guys. Stay close to it.
T.
Okay. Yep.
Whoa.
Right only.
Room.
Whoa.
Room.
It's bumping.
Room. No, Lauren. No.
bumping.
Nothing. No flop. Shot.
That was well done.
Shot hands.
Thanks.
and although Canada is shot stone, they're going to peel that guard anyway.
Yep. Hurry.
Randy Ferbey will get rid of a couple of stones.
Still going. Started spinning sideways.
Guard. Yeah, sure.
Mid's fine, eh?
Yeah, well, mid tight.
That one stone that came off the rock just outside the rings, still hanging for a biter at the back of the 12, and that could come into play on this end with Canada having last rock. It's a Canadian stone back there.
Well, if it does come into play and does end up counting, I assure you this will be the final end of the game. New Zealand has to try to steal here. Any score by Canada will more than likely result in the end of the game.
Looks a bit hot, Lauren, no. Never touch it, Lauren, never. Oh, sit down, Rock.
Anything?
Okay, all right, chop.
Yeah, just a hair tight and it just curl over curl. How much time? Oh, I got heaps of time.
That's all right. Center guard would go around anyways, eh?
Straight back, Dave, not
And if you tick that,
straight back.
oh, you ever hit 15/16ths? You leave the guard and you hit and roll in front of their yellow.
Oh, with the out turn. No, don't worry. If anything, I'll be.
So he wants to run this guard back into the other yellow stone.
Go, 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 go. Hard.
Hurry.
Hard.
Hurry! Hurry!
Trying to get rid of both New Zealand rocks. And he gets them.
Wonderful shot. Just makes those look so easy, Don. There was a lot of risk there as well.
Nice.
Well, you suggested that he may be a little grumpy, but he's making the shots himself.
Oh, he's playing very well.
What, Scott?
He says, well, that's not good. This is a bad call. He says, you ever hit and roll on top of it? I go, why would you say that? Like if you're ever tight. I said, well, I won't be. Like he's holding everyone that's in hack. He's thinking the worst instead of the best.
After you decide the shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I think that's what happens when you're struggling yourself, and then you start to second guess the team shots as well. You know, Scott's having trouble making any of his, so therefore when the call is made for Dave or Randy, he's thinking of how that shot can go wrong.
It's coming down, it's coming down. Let's go. Hard for line. Hard, guys, go. Hard for line. Hard, guys, go. Come on, right up to it. Hard. Right up to it. Hard. It's there, got it. Shot.
It's great. It's a great freeze.
Shot, skipper.
Just over curl a fraction.
Yeah. That was a good weight.
Geez,
There've been a couple.
You look down there and that looks like a lot of ice when you go to throw it.
They're just sort of throwing off the side of a hill.
Yeah.
A couple of attempted freezes by Becker that have just curled a couple of inches too much.
Yep, just over curled a little bit. His weight was perfect.
I mean, if it's a little thin, whatever. But 3/4 it'll go.
As Dave Netherwin said, if he catches about 3/4 of this New Zealand rock, despite the fact there's a Canadian stone behind it, it will go. And there it goes.
Well done.
Yeah, we have to. We have to address that. You know, like he puts that doubt in your mind.
Oh, we'll talk about it later.
What's that?
We'll talk about it later, yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of a gamble. I mean, hide half around there and go for shot.
Draw it.
Let's do that. Let's half around. Half around.
Enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell of a tick you made there.
Well, this could be the game right here. New Zealand needs to try to get in
Try for
around
half a rock.
this
Hey?
You got nothing on the left side.
Yeah.
this corner guard. Still say shot
He can't
stone,
even freeze, he just hits on the nose. And
That's right.
but it's going to be very hard to
Half a
hide
rock.
this stone in a place that Dave Netherwin can't just
Yeah,
tap
same
it
way.
back a foot or so and get 2 points.
give him a half-third of a rock.
Could get 3 with that biter at the back of the 12.
He really only needs one. Put this game out of reach. Just can't give up a steal.
Lines are slightly tight, not bad.
Same! Room!
Room okay now. Room's okay. Just here, guys.
Whoa, room, guys.
Here, guys.
It's coming down.
Needs it now. Come on. Gotta go. Yep, go. Yep.
Hard.
Yep, right back.
Hard line.
Come on, first to go.
Hard.
First to go.
Hard.
Nice shot.
Don't think that stone finished as much as they thought it would when they came very tight to the guard.
It's about as good as he could have done, though, I think.
Shot, Sean.
Had it curled more, got tight to the guard, it wouldn't be shot stone.
Shot.
I think that's a very good shot.
I don't know.
I think it's getting a little bit late in the game for Steve.
You're down to probably see about at least a third of that, maybe half.
Kind of wait. Bumper down. Okay.
11.
Bumper down.
Bumper down.
So they are throwing enough weight to remove this rock completely from the rings and go for that 3 points, Don.
Bumper. Yep.
Final stone of the ninth end. An opportunity for Canada to put the finishing touches to this game with New Zealand.
Whoa.
They're on the red stone out front, and the shooter will roll and will become shot.
It's a lucky break for Dave Netawin.
Sorry, Dan.
But with a point on the ninth end,
Sorry about that.
Canada now has a 4-point lead, 1 end remaining in this second draw of the day for Randy Ferbey and company. These are the two games we'll be covering tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time. Andreas Schwaller of Switzerland against Pete Fenson of the United States, and then on Country Canada at 5 Eastern Time, Eric Carlson of Sweden against Randy Ferbey of Canada. And we remind you, tonight is the night where you set your clocks ahead 1 hour. So that game will be starting at 9:30 Eastern Time. The clock's advanced 1 hour in every province except Saskatchewan.
I was just going to say, depending on where you live, Don, we don't have to do this. Come on.
Could be worse.
Don't understand it, but, you know.
So we can anticipate, Mike and I, that tomorrow morning you'll be showing up an hour late.
It'd be my pleasure.
Ours
Get
too.
the next
20.
Okay. Tell me how you really feel. Extra hour of sleep for me is all good.
Whoa, easy, guys.
That's all right.
Well, Dave Netawin really got fortunate on that miss on his last stone to go into the second shot stone and end up getting a point that in, and you heard him actually apologizing to the opposition, and that is a very nice thing to do when you don't make the called shot and still get a great result.
Well, you get those great results sometimes too when you throw that quiet weight.
Agreed, but it still was very lucky.
That's crying for
absolutely.
its mother, doesn't it? I don't know. Oh, is you doing this one? Oh yeah. Because it looks like you're high. Oh yeah. It doesn't look the same at all.
Well, from the sound of things, there may be some discussion among members of the Ferbey rink about the way they're throwing and how stones are being released, and discussion about shots, that sort of thing.
Oh, I think they normally have a post-game meeting as well. Most competitive teams would take a few minutes to talk about each and every game that they play, and especially at this level. And they are very good at putting things on the table. And as you and I were talking about during the commercial break, Don, I think men are much better at recovering from those kind of personality kind of conflicts on the ice and leaving it there.
Yeah, I think they're among male members of a team. There can be an exchange of words and then go out and have a bubbly.
Hard! Hard! Wait.
And you just got to feel for Scott Pfeiffer. He just cannot buy that double peel today. And that is his bread and butter shot.
And as he has told Marcel Rock and Dave Netawin, he really isn't sure what he's doing wrong.
Double O.
Weight's good. T.
And maybe that's the most frustrating part of a game like this. You heard all the members of the team talk about a few aches and pains. Marcel Rock talking about he's got his sore knee, and Ferbey always has sore knees, and Dave Nedowin's
hard now.
achy. He's not even sweeping rocks for Rock and Pfeiffer. So when you have a game like this where you're completely dominating very early in the game, you kind of want to just put it away so you can go home and rest. And maybe that's what the frustration is. They didn't put this team away early.
But on this 10th end, they're attempting to run New Zealand out of rocks.
That was the best one all night.
Didn't know what to do when you said that word.
Clean, I think it was.
That was his best one there all night.
It's 2 in a row. I hope they got that on tape.
I like the second one better.
Yeah. Your brim was halfway down there.
Oh, well, what the heck. Same way,
Well,
I
it
guess,
took the 10th end, but as Randy said, that's the best stone he's thrown all night in reference to the shot by Scott Pfeiffer.
Well, it's nice to finish that way for Scott.
On a positive note. And getting that input
Got the same,
from
double
Randy
O's.
Ferbey at the same time.
Finally, late in the game.
It's like
I
lots.
think down.
It's like lots. Looks like lots.
No, easy.
Take it back.
It's coming down now.
Yep. Yep.
How deep? T if you want it.
Yep. Yep.
Running out of places to hide, boys.
Yeah. Thought we wanted to keep it flat to harden the double.
Make this shot so I can go home. Feedback.
Yeah.
Well, a double possibility here to end it for Randy Ferbey.
Great. Okay.
Whoop.
He'll just roll over and sit on top of the other New Zealand stone.
Over till it's over.
Yeah, what the heck?
Double O.
Yeah, double O.
That's what Danny's were.
Pulled it a bit.
I got 97.
I pulled it a bit, Lauren. Back.
Yep. I think it's coming down, eh?
It needs. Come on. Yep. Yep. Go, guys.
Whoa,
Yep.
whoa.
Go. Come on.
Yep.
Yep. Gotta
Full
go.
line. Hard for line.
Come on, guys. Go.
Hard for line.
Go.
Real hard.
Go. Right up.
Real
Right
hard.
up. Right up.
It's there now.
Right up.
Oh.
Go now.
That's a good job. Nice
Shot
freeze.
hands.
Shot hands.
Doesn't matter, even if I hit it on the nose, you just make it all go away.
No, I think your red's off.
Well, I just hit it anywhere on his side.
Well, here's an opportunity to run everything out of the rings for Randy Ferbey.
As he said, as long as it was broom side, he can't overcurl. He'll be able to remove at least one Yellowstone.
And he is going to get rid of both of them. And that will do it.
Nice, guys.
Great shot by Randy Ferbey to finish the game.
Game, Dave. Yeah, good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, you too.
So after dropping a 10-5 decision in a game that did not go 10 ends, Randy Ferbey and his prior champions even their record at 1-1
Hey, we want to be at the Olympics with you guys. So.
with a 9-5 victory
Tough for us.
over New Zealand.
Yeah, it's just a little bit better. Win one. Hey, Cody, Spencer, Taylor, how you doing? Everybody at Moe's,
Thank you. Well, good luck.
mom and dad. Your mom and
Anybody
dad.
else, Randy?
Thank you. Good luck.
Hi, everyone back home. Riverbend, Raylene, Gabby, Bella. I'm trying to bring this home.
And we'll be back. Leading 6-4, playing the ninth end. Paul Trulson in danger of having a point stolen here. And he just fails to execute the shot. And as a result, Scotland picks up one and leads 7-4, 3 up heading home. On the adjoining sheet, quite a battle between Germany and Sweden. The game deadlocked at 5, playing the 10th end, and Germany with last rock. Uli Kapp just made a fine run back to remove the Swedish shot stone. And now another attempted run back by Uli Kapp, trying to drive his own back onto the Swedish rock in the rings. He just drives it by.
And that was just a sweeping error. Miscalled the sweep, should have kept on it.
We showed the update in the 8th end when Germany stole a huge point in the 8th end, able to hold Sweden to 1.
Zieht ein bisschen mehr weg als hier auf der Mitte. Auf der anderen Seite bleibt er gerade und bloß wieder das Stück.
Så andra sidan är inte mycket till gard om de tar bort gardar den då, tänker du?
And as you said, Don, Uli's first stone, he ran back a Swedish guard onto one that was biting the button. So that was the big shot of this end.
Erik Karlsson, a young skip who has competed at the junior level in 3 junior championships, runner-up twice in Kelowna in 2002 to David Hamlin, and in 2003 in Flim, Switzerland to Stephen Laycock.
And his decision here is whether he throws another guard or tries to make a little tap back on his own stone right now and hope that Germany would miss the double and then be able to guard it in a second one. Or throw the guard right now and have Germany make a decision on trying to peel or double peel both the yellow stones.
May even see Germany play a draw. The guard is if the guard is made, you know that Sweden's going to tap that stone to the top of the button.
Okay.
I don't think any decision here, though. I think if you're Sweden, you have to play the guard right now. You want to give them 2 shots at the double.
Well, the Pritz brothers, Andreas and Daniel, recruited Erik Karlsson. They saw some real potential in this young man.
Kom igen! Kom igen! Bara stanna!
And so far it has paid off because they defeated Peja Lindholm to win the Swedish championship. But talking to them about the Olympic Games, they said that based on Lindholm's past performance chart, he will probably be selected by the Swedish Curling Federation to go to Italy for the Olympic Games.
Well, I think that this team would have to win this World Championship to even be considered a good candidate to represent Sweden in Torino.
There is a spectator here at the Save On Foods Memorial Center who has been chanting throughout the entire game. I'm amazed he's still got a voice.
I was just going to say, the good news is he shouldn't have a voice for tomorrow. He's been going non-stop.
Nice.
Handicap is choosing to hit this rock in the house. He'll leave the guard out front. Sweden will have a chance to try to get hidden behind it.
Certainly wouldn't mind staying for a bite or somewhere over the side.
And he will.
If you're going to hit that stone, that's the best result you could really hope for. But again, good chance here for Sweden to just get one buried now, full 4-foot.
I'm not sure whether I'd like that call, Mike. If he hits that rock and stays there on the nose, he has something to run back onto the Swedish stone if they make a great draw.
I didn't like the hit in the first place, but the only good news for Germany, if Sweden is able to bury it, it's a very high guard. But again, if you're Sweden, you're happy. Certainly that stone's out of the way. Great chance coming into the full 4-foot, even touch the top of the button.
Top 4 foot.
Well, we talked earlier about Team New Zealand and Sean Becker being extremely pleased to finish day 1 playing Sweden and Canada to be 1-1. How happy you think Andy Kapp and his German teammates would be if they could finish day 1 having played Canada and Sweden and be 2-0?
Linjen ser bra ut. Va?
Sweepers are indicating that,
Det är inte så långt
this
nu.
has got weight on its own.
Ja.
Trying to bury behind the long guard.
Gotta get by.
They get a rub. Would that be a sweeping error?
Well, I think that's the sweepers thought that it had too much and didn't want to sweep that rock. Obviously, though, Don, you have to get by the guard, even if it wasn't completely buried. Make Andy Cap's shot much more difficult than this wide open hit that he doesn't have to stay on for the win.
Yes, his previous shot by the stone hanging on the edge of the 12 could prove to be the winning stone.
As you said, Don, what a great start for Germany. They've taken a break, haven't been playing internationally for quite some time, and what a wonderful way to get going at this World Championships with 2 wins.
Great first day.
Great first day, a disappointing opening day for Team Sweden. They are 0-2, but Andy Cap and his team from the Fusen Curling Club, 10-5 over Canada, and a 6-5 victory over Sweden to sit atop the round-robin standings after day 1 of the 2005 World Men's Curling Championship. And Andy Cap has every reason to smile. He was a silver medalist in 1997 in Bern, losing the final to Peja Lindholm of Sweden.
Okay, thanks.
So it's a happy day for this German team. Tomorrow, Sweden 0-2 goes against Canada 1-1 in the afternoon.
Huh? Optimal.
I'm not afraid of it. Too long away.
Kampf, aber
or even I brought to the bottom.
Ja, gut.
Marco Uso-Pavonimi of Finland against Stefano Ferronato of Italy. For Uso-Pavonimi, a double, and that will do it. A single point on the 10th end for a 9-5 victory. Finland playing its first game in round-robin competition, the same for Italy. Just one game remaining to be completed, and it appears as though Scotland's David Murdoch is going to emerge victorious over Paul Trulson, the Olympic gold medalist from Norway, leading 7-4, playing the 10th end. Trulson does have last rock advantage, but he has to work some magic.
Well, he needs an open miss.
He's just trying to put another rock into play and keep his fingers crossed, hoping for that open miss.
Is it going to slide too far? No, it'll just hang on the 12, and there are 2 biters belonging to Norway on the edge of the 12, but just removing one of them, and Murdoch will claim his victory. This is the first game for both these teams, Murdoch and Paul Trulson.
Yep. David Murdoch's a little bit of an unknown to many of the competitors here, but this is a great way for him to start the week as well. Markku Uusipavoniemi is a veteran here, and he's won his first also. So a couple of teams that could be in contention for a playoff spot late in the week.
This is the first World Championship for Murdoch. He is one of the people among the 10 that are being considered for a spot on the Scottish Olympic team. Or I guess I should, because combined squad made up basically of players from Scotland, however. So a good start for David Murdoch as he defeats Norway. Canada over New Zealand. It's officially recorded as a 10-5 Canadian win, although they did not throw all of the rocks on the end. Finland 9-5 over Italy, Scotland 7-5 over Norway, and Germany off to a great start. 2 wins on opening day, defeating Canada 10-5 on the first draw and 6-5 over Sweden on the second. So it's Germany atop the leaderboard, 2-0. Scotland, Switzerland, the United States, and Finland all winning 1 game. Canada and New Zealand at 1-1, and Italy, Norway, Denmark, Australia, and surprisingly Sweden still looking for their first victory. A tough start for Sweden, a great opening day for Andy Capp and his German teammates topping the leaderboard.
The Ford World Men's Curling Championships on CBC. Brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada. The Ford World Men's Curling Championships on CBC. Brought to you by the original Strauss Heart Drops. Trust the tradition. By Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. And by Scott Paper Limited and its family of quality paper products.
A reminder, everywhere but Saskatchewan, advance your clocks 1 hour tonight, and then you'll be able to be on time for tomorrow's third draw, Switzerland against the United States at 12:30 Eastern Time. And then on Country Canada, only 1 game tomorrow for Randy Ferbey and his 1-1 Canadian champions. They'll take on Erik Karlsson of Sweden. That game begins at 5 Eastern Time. A 10-5 victory for Ferbey over New Zealand after losing 10-5 to Germany this morning. Now for Joan McCusker and Mike Harris, I'm Don Whitman. Goodbye from Victoria.